All right, Adam, you're looking at me again. Is there something you want to say?
No, you guys ready?
Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll see.
So just to recap, we're about halfway through Act 1. We're on Wednesday.
You were around.
We were on Wednesday.
Is there a synopsis we can look at? I have no
Oh
idea.
yeah, I'm reading this, aren't I?
Yeah, do we need a synopsis?
Yes.
Other
This is
Adam?
the origin.
I don't know if we really need this synopsis.
I don't know.
Whoa, that's
So,
my voice.
for our viewers who are not with us last year,
Are you sure?
No.
we are playing as
know what his voice
a boy in high school who has
Shut
a
up!
heart condition.
I don't know if anyone can hear you,
put an
Jacob.
I know
exclamation
nobody
mark.
can hear me.
Yeah,
Marks that
I'm
you
trying.
were-
Yeah.
I don't know why me and Michael thought that this
come
many
on.
people would be able to sit on a stage together. And I
Especially
said I was
when
going to sit next to you.
Yeah, then he's still your seat.
No, that's okay.
All right.
There, it actually worked. This showed up.
Are we ready? No.
We are... Okay, does someone want to recap the plot from last year?
I don't
Does anyone remember the plot from last year?
We are British Hyso, and we had a heart attack, and now...
We did?
The heart attack. I remember we almost died.
Maybe that's why I have triple-digit resting heart rates. I'm gonna go fill my
Now
water.
we're at a school for physically disabled children.
Oh,
which
yeah.
sort of fits into
Do we
the
have like
theme
a
of our
roommate
stream.
that was
Whoa.
like creepy?
Not just physical.
And, like, well, not creepy, but like super energetic about things? Or was that the voice we just gave
It's
them?
a special school.
What was the question, Helen?
Did we have a roommate or something? Or someone that
We
lived
had,
across
the person
the hall?
across the hall is Kenji. He is my shifty Australian accent.
Oh, yeah!
I was not enjoying it, but
Shifty
some other
I
people
like
were.
that. I'm excited to hear that.
So, yeah, all of the students
I
here
think
have,
I
like, different
remember it.
disabilities. Like, there's a deaf girl who can't talk, and the girl with no legs ran into us.
That was one of the last things to happen.
Yeah.
And we're about to meet somebody else, actually, I happen
I'm
to know.
assuming this
So
is censored.
Is that, who's that?
that is the teacher, Muto.
Who's that?
That was supposed to
gonna
be.
assume,
So it was
yeah.
Tristan doing a deep voice. Mike, you can do a deep voice. You want to do your doctor voice for the teacher? Oh wait, but the teacher's not talking. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm the one, this is my internal
Okay, go ahead. Start your
I don't
internal
know if I
dialogue
can do
then.
a deep
But
voice,
I
to be
don't know
honest with you.
how to continue from here.
Sleepy.
From there. Muto looks at me in a way that makes me quickly want to take the words back to avoid a conversation. But I can't.
It's been a long.
I'm also trying to remember how to read. But I can't, so I'll have to forge ahead. Who's that?
You? That's your British.
Oh, that's my name?
That's you again. Oh, it's actually you talking now.
I just don't know how to deal with,
Pressure's
with
on.
people. I mean, the other students.
Somebody controlling the computer.
I'm talking to people and everything, so it's not that I'd be isolated or anything. I just don't know how to think about the disabilities. It's like, it feels like that I'm being impolite if I pay attention to them, and it's weird to ignore them. Damned if I do, damned if I don't. I don't think I'm doing the right accent.
It's kind of coming and going.
I know.
I like
The
it.
teacher scratches his cheeks absent-mindedly, looking very unresponsive. Do I have to do my internal dialogue in
You
British?
don't have to. You weren't at the beginning of last year. and you
Okay, then I'm not doing my internal dialogue British. That's
Okay,
not
do
me.
we want?
Who's doing Muto?
Do you want
That's
to?
Tristan. It's him.
The teacher. Pay attention. You're on the show now. Come on, get it together.
Welcome to the
Sorry,
stream.
I've been awake for a long time.
Okay.
All right. Oh, me? Okay. These things are only an issue if you make them one.
Oh yeah, Dr. Boy.
You can talk normally with someone, even if they are blind or something.
We can't talk at all.
Just not even. Yeah. Try to look behind the superficial. There's not a single student here who isn't just a normal kid behind whatever they might seem at first glance. This is the beginning of the game.
He says the same thing as
Yuko.
Yuko did. I know they're right, but it's hard. How can you not consider, for example, Shizune's deafness
Oh no.
when the only way to communicate with her is to talk through Misha? Or
Hanako.
Hanako? It's not like you can ignore her face. I don't know.
Whoa. Okay.
All right.
But,
Face. I do not remember
But-
her face.
I don't either.
okay, but, okay, we got that, but. I'm interrupted by the door of the classroom suddenly slamming open.
Oh yes,
Who's Misha?
Adam in was Misha.
Teacher!
Perfect voice, honestly.
Right.
Misha
better than
crashes
whatever
in,
you are.
hands straight in an enthusiastic greeting, her voice loud and lively enough to wake the dead from their graves. She starts towards the teacher's desk with her bouncing step, hands energetically swinging with the rhythm. Muto, visibly dismayed
Obviously.
at the interruption, and Misha in general slumps in his chair.
Mikado.
I don't know.
Misha stops in her tracks and looks around cluelessly, as if she's sensing from his tone that something's wrong and has no idea what.
Yes.
We have talked about volume control before.
Yes!
But she doesn't lower her voice at all, and the teacher just rubs his eyes.
So, what is it?
We need help. We are running out of supplies for the festival stands. This is a distress.
Oh, she waves a pink slip around, a pink slip of paper she's holding around. I can English.
So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with... Oh,
That's not you. That's not you.
Yeah. So, go get. Oh, I can't read now. So, go get more supplies from the art room. What's the problem with that?
I like his rendition better.
Plywood. Plywood is always the problem. Last time we wanted more, there was only a little. But that time we just took it all and went with that. Now there's like none left. So, do you know where there is some?
The trees.
I don't understand. How would I know?
Shi-chan, I mean, the president thought a teacher would know if there was plywood. Was she wrong?
Yes. Muto looks like he's in great pain, frowning with his entire essence, and Misha doesn't get it at all. Looking at the two of them communicating is terrible, like looking at a man being tortured by drilling his skull open while blasting pop music at full volume at the same time. Wow.
I'm very distressed by this. I'm afraid I have no idea if there is any plywood in the school, let alone where it would be if there was any.
Aww, what should I do?
Perhaps try to find Mr. Nomiya. I'm quite sure he would know where to find everything you need. You'd have to pry them from his cold, dead hands, but that's a different matter.
Is he dead or
We
just?
don't have time. We
Gotta
are
kill
so busy.
She holds her head with both of her hands, looking as despairing as is possible for a person like her. Without even noticing, she crumples the note she's holding against her hair.
I shouldn't even be fetching these things. There's so much to do and we're falling behind the schedule.
The sensual.
Muto looks at her gravely and then suddenly smiles. Smiling doesn't really fit his face. I think it'd be better if he did it.
Okay.
I wonder if you could get some temporary help.
He switches to staring at me fondly with
Focusedly.
focusly
Fondly.
focusedly with a hard expression as if to say, "Go make some friends."
Just get out of here.
I guess I can give you a hand.
You can? Thanks, Hee-chan. You are really nice.
No, I'm not. She pauses, does a double take, and then points at me with her finger, yelping.
Ah!
Looking very puzzled.
Come to think of it, what's Hee-chan doing here? Class is over. You should be having fun.
No.
We just had a little chat.
Try not to also be British. Oh no, it's not detention, is it? Are you in trouble, Hee-chan?
Yes. No.
Is Hee-chan in trouble, teacher?
No, he's not.
Yes. Muto sighs deeply, and I feel that I have helped Misha to get off of the teacher's back. So what do you need?
Here's a list. I can try to find the plywood from somewhere if there's none in the art room.
She offers me the note she's holding, and I take it with hesitating a bit. I said I help you, but this has no implications on whether I'm joining the council or not.
Aww. Still, thanks, Hee-chan. Try to be quick. We're in a stall building streak now. We must hurry, hurry, hurry!
She bounces out of the classroom, leaving me and the teacher looking at each other with something that feels like a silent agreement. Excuse me.
Well, there you have it, Nakai.
Is that my last name?
Nakai?
All these flashbacks.
You have something to do now.
Please don't sound so smug. Looking at the list with a number of items ranging from paint to plywood, all written with small, neat handwriting that is undoubtedly Shizney's, I heave a sigh. I'll be going then. Waving the long list limply at the teacher, I exit to the hallway. The classroom closest to ours are designated belonging to classes 3-1 and 3-2 on the right side and 3-4 on the left side, each door looking exactly the same. Further down the corridors, still with identical doors, are rooms that I didn't think were used for classes. I guess the art room is not a classroom as such. I cannot read today. I carefully push open the furthest door and peek in. I really can't read. It's a classroom, but it seems rather badly kept or not in use. Am I in the right place? No.
That's actually an art classroom.
Desks and chairs are all around the room. A thin layer of dust settles on them. There are some easels in the corner, so this at least looks like the right place. The room is flushed in sunlight from the big windows, shade creeping all over the desks. Specks of dust are dancing in this stagnant air, making the beams of light almost visible. Jokingly, I call into the empty room. Something catches my eye and I stop mid-sentence. Sitting on a desk is a short-haired girl curiously wearing a boy's uniform with a fork between her toes and a morsel of food stuck firmly on the end. This odd way of dining happens to be caused by her apparent lack of hands, and her presence here is what takes me aback even more. How did I miss her before? She's sitting in the corner very still, but I still somehow took her as part of the furnishing or a statue at first glance. I'm not reading very well today. I'm not being too observant today as a whole. Nope. The girl seems to be frozen in place, staring at me with her huge eyes like a rabbit in the headlights. She's staring at me with her mouth open wide, ready to accept the fork. I'm staring at her, my mouth open wide, suddenly remembering I didn't finish my sentence, trying to think if I should. This weird stalemate keeps us both stunned into silence, punctuated only by the wall clock ticking rhythmically. Kelly,
What? Oh,
new
Not
girl.
a character.
I don't know. Do I just do my regular voice?
Do what you want. Do something
This is what
fun.
it's like when people watch us.
I guess I'll just be country
Kinda
or whatever.
weird.
Hello.
The girl stuffs the forkful in her mouth and is now staring at me expectantly while chewing. This is a bit awkward. Hello. I was told to pick up some supplies from here for some festival stalls. I don't think there would be someone here.
There isn't. That's why I came here too.
She picks up another forkful. Doesn't that mean you're here then? She raises her eyebrows as if she was suspecting my observation was false.
You're pretty observant. I guess it does, but who are you?
Nobody. This girl is pretty straightforward, isn't she? I'm Oh gosh. Nakai, Sound Nakai, just transferred in on Monday.
I'm Rin. Tezuka Rin. Rin Tezuka. I won't shake hands with you, but at least now we know who we are now. That's very nice.
Her deadpan manners of talking makes it hard to determine whether she's joking about shaking hands or not. Kind of bothers me. Joking about these matters doesn't feel appropriate at all. While I'm trying to figure out what's appropriate and whether this girl is, she seems to have lost interest in me, as now gazing yearningly back at her food.
Can I continue my lunch? If you don't mind me, I won't mind you. If you need to get your stuff, the supplies are at the back.
Go right ahead, but lunch? School's already over for the day.
What word would you use then? There's no word for a meal you eat after lunch but before dinner, right? It bothers me very much too, but I don't really know what I should say.
Don't think you're supposed to eat a meal between lunch and dinner to begin with.
Fight me. But I'm hungry now, and my delicious boxed lunch would go to waste otherwise. I have curry. It's very delicious.
With much decisiveness, Rin once again picks up her fork between her toes with at least as much politeness. She points it straight at me.
So, Nakai, what brings you to this place?
Like I said, I was told to look for these things.
No, the school. From outside you look fine. Is your problem inside?
Yes. I came to a full stop, opening my mouth, but not getting a word out. I
can guess. I'm good at guessing, better than most people.
Click. Rin cuts me off before I can answer her question, or skirt around it somehow. I don't know which I would have done. I froze in front of this issue again. I haven't even told anyone here about my condition, or maybe it's only because it hasn't really come up. I do get the feeling that not making issue of this is a part of the social code here, as the teacher said. I wonder if the people here could relate. Probably not any better than any normal person could. I can't relate to Shizune's circumstances or Lily's either.
A lot of soliloquy for Helen.
Naturally, while I go through this in my head, Rin keeps considering what my condition could be, with an overtly contemplative look on her face. She puts her fork between her lips and leans back, looking at the ceiling as if the answer was written up there.
It's not.
A beam of light illuminates her face from the window side, creating a mask of dark shadow on the other side.
I don't think it's anything in your head, and something in your guts would be boringly ordinary, like this lunch of mine, and less delicious. What? The problem must be in your pants.
Okay.
This messed up Sherlock Holmes kind of statement, and the sheer lack of tact was delivered with catches me completely off guard. I am not reading. I think I might have reeled back even physically as Rin's eyes widen in revelation and astonishment.
So I was right. There's something with your tackle, isn't there? What the hell?
Still partially in shock, but recognizing the need to reply something, I spit out the first thing that I could think of. Oh no. No, nothing like that. I have a heart problem, arrhythmia. I said it. More like blurted it out, but I said it. The girl in front of me purses her lips together, glowers at me, looking very disappointed.
How boring. Trouble in the pants would have been much more scandalous.
What's with this reaction? I'm sorry to let you down.
I forgive you. Just, I collect people, and a person with, that kind of problem would have been really great.
I'm sorry, what? Collect people?
People with different problems.
Huh.
Apparently.
So you just, go around asking people what's wrong with them?
Pretty much.
Sounds normal. I see. With little left to say, Rin resumes her lunch and the conversation dies away, but I keep thinking about what was said.
Yeah, that was some stuff.
No, I'm not. It's the first time I told anyone else about my condition. All the other people have either known about it already or heard about it from someone else. Or didn't need to know about it like every other student here so far. Should I have told it as a natural part of introductions? Is it expected of me? Hi, I'm Hisao. I have a serious heart condition. Is that how I'm supposed to go around introducing myself from now on? As if our disabilities would define us, what a disgusting thought. Or maybe this Tezuka girl just has an unnatural interest in such things. As I walk to the back of the room to pick up the items on Misha's list, a chance opens to study Rin from the corner of my eye. Her hair is a burnt auburn, almost orange, and cropped short. Long hair would probably be impossible with no arms. That looks pink. The boy's uniform and lack of arms make her look very thin, almost scrawny. She is not particularly pretty, except for her murky green eyes, which flicker restlessly from below her short bangs, even when she eats. The distance and the shadows make it seem like they don't reflect sunlight at all, but instead absorb all of it from within them like deep wells. She moves her feet almost as deftly as a normal person would use their arms. However, I can see how this sight could discomfort people, especially while eating. It makes me feel a bit uncomfortable, at least. I hesitate to think about the word unnatural, but it's too late now, isn't it? I keep searching the cabinets and shelves for Misha's things, but after enough time passes, the silence grows too uncomfortable, so I try to force some conversation out of the strange girl. So, do you always eat alone and this late, or do you get the occasional visitor?
Visitors? Maybe you're my first occasional visitor, but I don't always eat alone either. Sometimes I eat with a certain person on the roof if she's not horsing around.
Horsey?
She likes to do sports.
Oh. And that's all I can think of to say.
It's a great
Both of us fall
conversation
silent again as Rin forks the last bit of her meal into her mouth. I look down at my haul and double check it with Misha's list. It seems I have everything except plywood. So, I think I have all the things now.
That's very nice for you. Don't feel obliged to stay. I was about to take a nap anyway. You need to do whatever you're going to do with that stuff anyway, right? Or perhaps you like to watch girls sleeping? I'm sorry, what?
I'm not sure what to make of this, but Rin looks serious.
She needs to not.
Even if I did, I think I have to be going.
What? That is not how you answer. That is not how you answer.
I'll catch you around, Tezuka. That's not what you say.
You can call me Ren.
Rin's best girl.
I feel that our relationship is at this point good enough to warrant this much.
Oh God. I'm already turning to make my exit, but she draws me back in. Fine, then. I'm Hisao.
Then you are.
No, I'm not.
I'm so confused.
Rin looks at me hard in the eyes, but that intimidating feeling you get when someone stares at you isn't there. It's like she's actually not looking at me at all.
Maybe she's blind.
She blinks a couple of times, and I can't figure out why a pause like this just popped between us out of nowhere.
See you later, Isao.
There's something like a tiny smile there in her face, maybe. No.
Now there's a llama behind my head.
I quietly back out of the room. As I shut the door in front of my face, I whisper to myself, what an intriguing person. From inside, I hear a muffled sing-song.
Here!
I jump at the sudden appearance of Misha, who I had not heard approaching despite the complete empty hallway. Somehow she had gotten to jumping distance of me without making a sound. Creepy. It briefly reminds me of Kenji's nutty theory about a global feminist conspiracy, but I have to push that thought aside. Shizune is standing slightly behind Misha, looks a little off as she couldn't have heard the remark that drew Misha's attention, but Misha is visibly excited.
No, wait, more importantly, who's in there? There's no club meetings today.
Fight me.
She tries to curiously peek past me, even though the door prevents her from seeing anyway. What are you doing here?
What do you think you're
You
doing?
took so long, then we had to come check what's wrong. That's no good, He-chan.
She wags her finger at me scoldingly.
That's no good, He-chan. I found plywood, but everything else is still missing because you are tardy.
I know,
See,
I'm
not
slow.
sure if you like have a
Oh,
crush on Lisa, or
sorry.
you, like, just
No, oh,
I don't know.
sorry. I got the things here.
Router
I was
again.
just going to
What,
bring
don't know
them.
yet.
Oh yeah, that's
This
true.
is the
That's true,
beginning.
really.
No, we're trying to
I
die.
think
We've
you're up to
established
some
that.
Oh,
mischief.
Oh
Harry
really?
Potter.
Okay,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
what?
Love that.
Misha
Our first round, too.
signs something quickly to Shizune, pointing at her ears a couple of times.
Bye.
Oh, Shizune immediately pushes her way past me and opens the door into the classroom I just left.
I don't want to hang out with you.
I can only imagine the shock she is experiencing. With with her diligence and attitude,
There it is.
She's in
and
there.
the insolence of daring to deface school property by sleeping on top of it must be too much to bear.
How is sleeping on something?
And
defacing
indeed,
it?
she stares at Rin, frozen in place apart from the slight but noticeable trembling of her shoulders from suppressed rage, I'm sure. Instead of blowing up, Shizune takes just takes a few deep breaths, adjusts her glasses, and slams the door shut, turning to sign furiously at Misha. Maybe she did blow up, but I can't understand it.
She is pissed.
She shoots a very loaded stare at me too, as if it was somehow my fault that Rin is sleeping on top of the on one of the tables. I hope she's not getting any funny ideas about the reason of my tardiness.
Don't worry, everything in your pants works fine.
Kelly.
Hello.
Rin's voice comes from the other side of the door, and it takes a few eye blinks to realize she might have trouble opening it. I open the door to find Rin directly behind it, looking at us with a half-interested, half-sleepy face.
Hello. Okay.
Miss Tezuka, what do you think you were doing? You are absolutely are not permitted to use school property for such disgraceful activity.
It sure is suddenly very crowded in here. I didn't know I was this popular.
It's hard to say whether she's happy or unhappy about this turn of events. At any rate, she ignores Shizune's Misha's scolding, so they have no choice but to drop the issue. Shizune taps Misha's shoulder, points at Rin, and makes some quick signs.
Popularity aside, please don't do that anymore.
What?
Anyway, how's your project going? Will it be done for the festival?
Rin looks at them blankly, apparently at ease under the pressure Shizune's cold stare is putting on her.
I keep wondering about that myself, too.
I'm not being British.
And
We'll think about it harder.
As Misha signs her reply to Shizune, her face turns into an unsatisfied frown.
Miss Tezuka, please try to take this seriously. It'll be a disaster if the wall looks like someone threw up their lunch onto it.
That sounds like a really cool idea.
Rin nods assertively. Kelly.
I did nod.
Kelly.
I knocked my hat
Kelly.
off. Oh! We'll think more seriously.
Misha actually giggles at that, but Shizune doesn't, not even after translation. She just shakes her head, takes the materials from me, and takes off with Misha in tow. Rin frowns thoughtfully as she looks after the retreating student council duo.
How rude. It's true, though. I must finish my project before the weekend. There will be dire consequences if I don't.
Uh-oh.
The end of the world as we know it.
Uh-oh.
Like weekends usually are, but more dire. Much more dire. Maybe I'll postpone my nap to unforeseen future.
I'm about to ask what project she has and what are these apocalyptic consequences, but she walks back into the art classroom.
Since you have nothing to do, would you give me a hand?
No.
Fight me. This paint can doesn't fit into my bag, but I need it.
She kicks slightly at a huge can of paint that's lying on the floor next to the table that she was sitting and sleeping on. It lets out a dull clang.
Away.
That doesn't sound ominous.
away.
And with that, she takes off to the hallway, me and the paint can following since there's little choice for either of us. The hallway is quiet and empty now with Shizuni and Misha gone, so we two leave towards the stairwell at the other end. Every 10 or 15 or 20 steps, I have to change the can from one hand to another because the thin handle cuts into my palm. At least it keeps my arms from tiring too fast.
Hold it from the bottom.
Yeah, I know. Rin strolls
get
on
pink
beside
in his
me with an uneven pace that I have trouble matching, or maybe I'm walking weird because of the extra weight. Nah.
Learn how to carry a paint can, dude.
Seems one of us is constantly walking too slow or too fast, and I can't figure out which. 2 flights of stairs below, trouble appears in the form of the head nurse and his fox-like grin.
I don't like the sound of this nurse.
Oh! Who's the nurse?
Adam H.
Nasally / uncomfortably happy. That makes sense given his expression.
I don't.
It doesn't make sense. Oh, his?
Yeah!
Look at it. That man looks uncomfortably happy.
I know what that means, though.
Whatever you want it
Basically,
to mean.
way too peppy.
You're an artist.
Ah, Mr. Nakai, what a happy coincidence. Tozaku, too, of course.
He nods courteously at Rin, who does not acknowledge him back, then turns to me because obviously it's me who has some business with.
Business.
There's something I forgot to mention on Monday.
I nod and wait impassively because I can't even begin to guess what he forgot. The feeling of the handle delving deeper into my skin doesn't make me feel enthusiastic about this interruption either.
It's about your medication. Since you haven't been that long on your current medications, there might be some unexpected side effects, which might require adjusting dosages or
Nah.
even changing to another kind of medication.
Nah, we'll stay with the same one.
So, we will do a few tests regularly, but what I'd want is for you to keep an eye on everything in your condition that feels off, if you get what I mean.
If you get what I mean.
Nausea, headache, anything.
How about the
See if
patient
anything
privacy?
They don't use HIPAA here.
That's cool.
Alright!
HIPAA's out the window. It's fine.
So how are you? Everything fine?
No.
Why are you winking?
I give up and drop the can to the floor before answering him. Apparently this takes longer than my biceps can handle.
He's Sal. Why aren't you jacked?
Cause I had a heart attack.
Oh yeah.
That has nothing to do with why you are not jacked.
I'm about to say something generic as an answer, but then I realize how often I've done that lately. Other people have asked me that too, teachers and students here. My parents, visitors, nurses, doctors at the hospital.
Yeah, everyone asks that question.
Everyone seems to be concerned about that. It's natural for a hospital, not so much for a school.
It's totally natural
Everyone-
for
Except
a
this school.
Everyone always asks that.
This is a small school, and both the students' base and the faculty seem to be very tight-knit.
Why is he winking?
I don't
He's
know. It's
stuck in
freaking
this-
me
he's
out.
stuck there.
Default
It's
face,
freaking
yeah.
me
At-
out.
He's looking at you
At
with his
least
true eye.
that's the feeling I'm getting.
Third eye.
And this is not the kind of school that gets transfer students too often. The thought sends shivers up my spine, but I give a generic answer anyway.
Call that for generic answer.
That's great. Also one. Oh, hang on.
That's not you.
That's great. Also, one other thing.
No.
My sources tell me that you've been at neither
Wow.
the school track nor even the pool. So I'd like to know if you have taken up exercising as I asked.
No. Of course I hadn't. But his way of inquiring gives me the feeling that I should have been running my butt off on the track since the very first day. You have people spying on me?
Not as much. I just happen to know a few people, but that's not the issue here, so don't try to slip out of it.
I will slip out of everything. Well, actually, I was
Pants.
just doing some improvised weightlifting as an exercise. I don't know what that fast was. I pick up and lift the can up and down a few times. That, like some sad imitation of a bodybuilder, even though it's weighing down my arms painfully. The stupid grin disappears from his face for a second, then comes back like it was never gone.
Tezuka, would you give us a second?
The nurse grabs me by the shoulder without waiting for Rin's permission, which he doesn't need in the first place, and drags me aside.
I don't like where this is going.
When I told you to exercise, I wasn't joking. I understand that you're still on your first week and all, but please don't ignore the importance of this.
He's got squinty eyes.
The reason I'm coming down this hard
not
on you
smiling
is
anymore.
that habits are not easy to form. The more you slip and postpone, the harder it'll be. It's the same with everything, like dieting. Can you promise me to be more serious about this from now on?
Maybe.
Choice time.
We're
No.
going for bad choices.
Yeah,
Maybe. Hey, Brendan, can I get a jacket? Brendan,
okay.
can I get my jacket? I think it's on the couch.
Maybe. No. I mean.
Okay. Or maybe yes would have been a better. Oh, maybe. No. I mean,
It's too late. Let's
He's
see where we go.
squinting so hard at us right
He's
now.
gonna stab
he
you
gives me a
now.
nasty sort of look when I say that, making me try to take back the wood. I mean, I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to the school. Promise I'll try, though. No.
You're not being very convincing there, Hiso. Tip number 1. Medical professionals are not amused if you take the advice lightly.
Can confirm.
Yeah. What's up with him? As if a day or two would make that much of a difference. Yes, it would. I didn't do anything at the hospital either. Yeah, okay. Sorry. He studies me for a moment and then shrugs, smiling again. Stop smiling.
He's freaking me
Okay,
out.
that's more like it.
I don't like him.
If you go to the school track tomorrow morning, you'll meet my spy. He probably has no qualms offering consultation to you if you want to jog a bit.
Do we have to go to the consultation?
See you around.
Oh no, he's looking at you.
He's
with true
winking
eyes.
again.
Stop it! He leaves with a wave of his hand and no answer, and I walk to Rin, who has been waiting idly, leaning against the hallway wall and staring at the pale light fixtures in the ceiling.
Helen, I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you. and I think you're
Slow
amazing.
down.
I'm trying. Even when I approach, she doesn't move her eyes off of them.
Are you getting medications for your heart thingy?
No. Were you listening?
No.
It comes out more accusatory than I intended, accidentally lashing out at her. But even so, I don't really want to start talking about it. I just met her. I don't know her. It's not her business.
Fight me.
Okay. The nurse seems to be happily
Oh, did you get it?
no,
Where's the
fine.
logs at?
happily ignorant about confidentiality too. Talking about that kind of thing in public.
HIPAA.
But it's not Rin's fault, is it?
It's totally Ren's fault.
I look up at her, suddenly feeling a bit guilty, but Rin's just staring past my shoulder quizzically, her head tilted like a bird's. I don't know why this is so hard for me. It feels like there's something inexplicably locked, preventing me from being more upfront about this. Yeah, they're from my heart.
Will they make you better?
No. Not really.
Yeah.
They're just to make me a little less wuss.
Wow.
Rin keeps looking at me for a while longer, and she neither says anything further nor displays any kind of emotion I could discern. I'm thankful that she doesn't. I think I'm still not quite used to all of this. At the hospital, it was easy, but I still haven't sorted my feelings about having to live a normal life with this disability. We leave the main building, and Rin leads us onward towards the dorm. We stop at the small patch of greenery in front of the dorm building. The dorm is built on a slightly elevated ground with a wall and a few trees that everyone has to circle around every time they come or go. It's probably the only inconvenient design in the school. The entire wall made of some kind of brick, as the building itself has been covered with some sort of painting. Most of it is still mere sketches, quick lines drawn with black and white against the gray plaster that covers most of the entire length of the wall, but some places look a bit more finished. There are human faces and legs and hands. I can't quite say what the painting as a whole might portray. Stacks of what seems to be paint cans are arranged in piles on the ground beside the wall.
See, the left side is hardly off the ground yet. It's because I couldn't get in the mood yesterday, so I gave up, went to meditate instead. Then it was suddenly morning. I have to work on it, but the guys from art class are helping with the negative spaces and base surfaces whenever, which is a problem. It's easier to paint big areas if there are a lot of people with hands. The reach is better, and it's faster too.
She goes on a tangent, waving a little with her arm, or whatever it is there actually is, to demonstrate, even though I got the point already. The white cotton of her sleeve flaps around and makes me think it could look sadder than it does. But it makes me feel out of place, almost like every tangible reminder of the student base's special properties has in the past few days. This girl doesn't notice my dreary feelings, of course, or the fact that she's lost me a while ago already, and just keeps on blabbering.
Blah, 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 blah. And so that's why I'm trying to figure out if there's something I need to figure out, and then figure that out before it's too late and all hope is lost.
Why would all hope be lost?
Because paint has to be painted, and then it has to dry, and then it has to be painted over with another kind of paint. She's not wrong. It takes time.
She finally stops, apparently thinking she's made some kind of statement that makes sense.
Hey, it totally does.
I think it's best to start from the top. So, this is your project. You did this?
Yes. Yes.
All of it?
Yes.
Nice. But I stumble with my words, suddenly feeling like I've walked straight into the minefield of political incorrectness.
It's okay. You can say it. I probably won't get mad.
I blush really hard. I don't really know what would be the right thing to say, if any. It feels that I'm more sensitive than Rin is, though. This is really awkward.
Don't you want to ask?
How do you paint without hands?
My mouth. See? I'm an easy person to talk to, right? With my feet.
I almost guessed that already, but it isn't that hard to do.
You're good at guessing. Anyway, I don't think it is, but maybe I'm used to it by now.
Can't get my mind around the fact that she could be an artist, but seeing how adept she was using her feet to eat, I figure painting might not be a problem either. Neither of us has anything more to add to the subject.
The afternoon light works pretty well. I was afraid it would look too flat, but it's not like that after all. I think it's actually pretty interesting. I wanted to see what it looks like in dim light. Do you think it's flat?
Paintings tend to be
I
flat.
have obviously never seen any of the Van Goghs. Not like that flat, you know? Flat. Like some people are no substance, no meat, where there should be some. I know a few girls who...
Okay, I get it.
I didn't do that.
What happened?
I didn't do that.
Okay, click.
Oh, it's the next one?
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be it.
But I
Okay.
really can't tell. I'm not that kind of... not good with art. I can't name many artists or artistic terms. I don't know what
It's
accent
really
I'm
not
doing
that
anymore.
hard.
So, I don't really have anything to say. Rin shrugs her shoulders at that, saying, "Suit yourself,"
As if to say.
without saying it, and looks up at the sky as if trying to look for something up there.
I didn't think I'd get any actual work done. But if you give me a hand with the paints, I could do a little before it's too dark. I wanted to get a halogen lamp like the ones they have at the sports track, but there aren't any.
Rin sure is quick to recruit my help, as was Shizune. It really makes me feel that the festival is such a big project that every pair of hands is needed. Why not? I'm not really sure if I can be of any help, though.
It's just mixing some paints. You can do that. Probably. Do you have motor control problems? Like, you know, those people who have some?
Like
Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Rin is the best.
Damn.
Not that I know of.
I get it. Heart thingy has nothing to do with that.
She gives me a sly look for no reason. No, it doesn't.
What does it do with your hand? Let's do it then. Are we gonna meet anyone else? Come on.
So she sits on an empty wooden box and very naturally picks up a wide brush between the toes of her bare right foot.
Right foot.
I open a few of the cans and pour some of the contents into shallow bowls for mixing. The thick paint flows lazily from the can to the bowl like syrup. I mix them, creating funny, hypnotic-looking swirl patterns that melt quickly into each other to form a new monotone hue. Rin sets to work every now and then, asking me for a hand with something or the other. Finding different brushes is easy enough, but mixing the paints to be the exact tone this girl is apparently seeing in her head is a frustrating ordeal. She wants precision down to the last millimeter before she is satisfied, but her instructions are too obscure at best.
Add half a splash of green.
I crouch down to pick up a can of bright green.
The other green. This green.
I carefully pour some of the other green and paint into the mixing bowl.
No, that's almost a whole splash. More white. Is green a good color to add?
No idea. You're the artist here. A hint of a smile appears in the corner of her mouth.
Do you lack an opinion?
Yes.
Right, sweet.
No, it's just that I have no idea.
Trying to tell you.
It's okay, because I just got an idea. Add more white.
With this exclamation, I pour a minuscule amount of white into the bowl and mix it. It looks slightly whiter.
That's not good. It has to be like the color when you wake up and you know that you saw the meaning of life in your dream, but can't remember it.
What color is that?
I know that green.
I'm cold. It's a Kelly
Whitish
green.
Maybe it's yellow. Oh, hang
That's
on.
my words.
My
Maybe it's
brain is
yellow.
frozen. Yes. Despite the impossibility of
word.
mixing color, like the change of seasons or any other nonsense that's being imposed on me, I find myself enjoying it more than I thought I would. I'm not so sure.
Get Brendan to bring you my Snuggie if
He
you want.
won't.
Oh.
Seeing a painting being born on the plaster wall feels like magic. I spend the moments I have between mixing paints crouching down on the paving and just looking at her work. It feels slightly intrusive at first, like breaking some imaginary intimacy, but Rin doesn't seem to mind the least bit. Maybe it's just in my head. Yes, it is.
There's a lot in your
Her
head.
entire presence emits a completely different air as she patiently works the details, adding layer of paint on top of other layers of paint, steadily moving her foot across the wall to add new shapes. Then I manage to produce a passable mixture of paint. The rare smile on her face is oddly rewarding. Apart from the few words when discussing paint mixes, Neither of us say a word for the longest time. And even then, short discussion soon evolves into a shorthand, both of us developing a weird impromptu code words for various paints and hues. As if there was some need to conserve words and breath and sound.
I love how there's so many people up on the stage and literally it's just hell.
We stay there late
There's so
into
many
the evening until it becomes too dark to paint properly.
Is it bedtime?
Do we make it to a new day?
I think we did.
I
We're on
can't
What
believe
happens
Thursday
that.
here,
now.
Mike?
I was wondering, like, are we
Oh,
still on- I
time
think we're on
passes,
Wednesday,
dude.
but
It's the original.
The original.
What day is our ending on?
Our ending is on Sunday.
The sound of an alarm pulls me out of a fitful slumber into the unpleasant state of wakefulness.
That's actually.
I linger under the blankets for a few minutes, gathering the energy to rise up while making excuses as for why I haven't already. Honestly, I wouldn't mind staying here staying here all day. School is surprisingly exhausting after a long pause, and the culture shock still has not faded, I think. Still, despite getting an impression that skipping class is easy here. I thought she was like standing behind me. I don't think they are going to let me get away that easily. And the nurse is bound to keep breathing down my neck with all the talk of exercise as well. So eventually I do rise up, swallowing the morning medications and putting on my old soccer clothing. Thanks to my condition, I was exempt from taking part of gym classes at Yamaku, so I didn't get issued with a gym outfit.
Where's my coat?
I ordered some. I'd order some to cover such contingencies, but wearing my old soccer clothes is kind of nostalgic. I can't use them anymore, so maybe they can get a new life this way.
You can totally play soccer with them hard issue.
A bit like me. I can read. It seems stupid to me, really. But I suppose this way, at least I can tell the nurse, honestly, I'm doing something about my health. Not that I ever was much of a runner to begin with. Can't hurt to try, I guess. I'm surprised to discover that I'm not the only person at the track.
Swear to God,
I almost read the track.
track.
Not just that, but it's a face I've seen before. The prosthetic-legged girl who bowled me over in the hallway yesterday is running on the track lately as like a half-mechanical gazelle. What was her name again? It was a short one, but I can't remember. So long ago. She seems to be running laps at a somewhat easy lope, her prosthetic legs clacking rhythmically on the hard track surface. I wonder what reason she has for running this early in the morning. Maybe it's something akin to mine, and the nurse is pressing the poor girl to jog just like he is pressing me.
His eyes everywhere. He's always watching.
I certainly wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my health, and him prompting me to do so. And even with things being the way like they are, it's only because I want to get it out of the way. Close enough. The fact that I would be less likely to encounter someone who would witness my pitiful attempts to get in shape was merely a happy accident. I'd leave, but it seems my former assailant noticed me on her last lap. She waves at me cheerfully and jogs over. Oh, someone else to read.
Do we have a name?
This was
This one is-
Adam H. last year, but Westy can do a voice that's extremely similar since you already have.
Yes, you can do
voice.
Emmy,
What-
dude.
what's girl
That's
voice?
exciting.
It's
Is
Emmy.
this Emmy?
I don't even remember. Well, what was
If you
what
just
was
do your L voice, that's basically what Adam was doing
Oh.
for this girl last year.
Okay.
Perfect.
I don't know if I can do my elbows like that. Oh, it's me. Good morning. Your name is Hisao, right?
She grins, seemingly pleased that she'd remember my name.
Is she running in just her underwear?
Kelly.
That's her
You
track
may not.
uniform.
Yeah.
Those shorts are not shorts.
They're
They are
short
when your
shorts.
legs are basically metal. You may not remember me.
But I really...
Emmy, I knocked you over in the hall yesterday. Miss Ibarazaki?
Doesn't remember.
She imitates Misha, imitating Shizune, failing to get the same subdued lilt into her high-pitched voice. How could I forget such blunt introduction? Emmy has the decency to look vaguely apologetic for a moment before giggling.
Yeah, sorry about that. Again.
Well, so long as you don't make a habit of it, I suppose I'll be fine.
Great.
I'm not sure she realizes I was joking. So, the spy consultant the nurse was talking about, is that actually you?
That's right.
Oh gosh. Oh.
No shame.
I was expecting someone from the nursing staff, to be honest.
What, are you saying I don't look like I could be a spy?
No, this is more like a relief. I was afraid he would have someone to watch my every move. Unless you're here to do exactly that.
Definitely.
No, I'm here for my own reasons. The nurse just asked me if I'd seen a messy-haired transfer student who looks like he's kind of lost around the track.
So, why are you down here? Emmy strikes a dramatic pose.
Training.
For what?
Track.
Ah, I see. You're on the track team then? Emmy nods enthusiastically.
Yep.
They're not track
I'm one of the
shorts.
better runners too.
And modest about it, too.
She's got like those implants.
Hey, you should join up.
No.
Definitely not.
Why not? It's good exercise, you know.
I think that's much activity is probably out of the question for me. Nah, I'm not even sure I really like running all that much. Plus, I'm just not into organized sports, you know? It's true. I've never even really got that much into soccer.
Football.
I mean, I'd run around with my friends and all, but that was really the only reason I ever played. If it wasn't for the glory to be found on the field, that's for sure. Emmy seems to understand my meaning.
I see. Not that into the whole organization thing. But now that you're here, I guess we're gonna run together, huh?
What? I guess so. Sure, I guess.
Yeah, close enough.
Emmy seems pleased.
Are you going to warm up?
No. Real men don't.
Hell yeah.
Real
Yeah.
men don't warm up.
Real men don't warm
Guess you're
up.
gonna like pull a muscle or something.
No, you.
Oh no, you always should warm up. Bad Hisao.
Daddy's.
Bad.
She scolds me enthusiastically, but smiles and leans closer.
I hate warming up too.
She laughs suddenly.
Heck, and I don't even have to stretch my legs.
Oh!
I get it.
Nice.
As if to confirm her statement, she bounces up and down a couple of times, giving a passing impression of standing on a pair of springs. Her leg blades seem to be quite elastic.
She's standing on.
Let's
the
go.
hands.
So we both take off around the track, and I can immediately see that she wasn't lying about being good at running. Emmy moves fluidly, throwing herself into the run with a sort of wild abandon. I find myself concentrating more on running properly. Frankly, I don't remember if there's any particular form for running, but I can't help but feel like I'm doing it wrong somehow.
You are.
I feel awkward in comparison to Emmy, who never seems to break stride. I don't think I want to do this anymore. I'm really not feeling up to more than a couple laps today, slow to a walk pretty quickly. Emmy keeps running and doesn't seem to notice I've stopped until she passes me a second time. She quickly skids to a halt, breathing steadily in contrast to my somewhat gasping demeanor.
Finished already?
I hang my head ruefully. Yeah. I'm not really in very good shape right now. Emmy nods and then grins at me again. She seems to do that a lot of smiling.
Well, the important thing is that you started, right? Next time, you just have to try and hold out longer. And then longer, and longer, and eventually you'll be great.
Keep that in mind. But I think right now I'm going to go and get ready for class. Shouldn't you?
Nah, I've got plenty of time.
I notice she's not wearing a watch. Are you sure? Another careless shrug.
Not really, but I've got to finish my routine. See you later, Hisao.
Yeah, see ya. Apart from feeling more tired than before, I don't think I accomplished anything today. I'm so out of shape, it's embarrassing. The whole thing might have been a waste of time. I'll find some other way. I head back to the dorms to wash and change into my uniform, trying to resist the urge to take a really long and hot shower. I'm tired from all the running, so I just want to unwind, but I don't want to break my slowly building routine of getting to school before the morning rush. After taking a long shower anyway, I dry myself off and get out of the stall to put on my clothes. Out of nowhere, a shadow appears within the mist, looming and radiating malicious intent. It bursts through the fog.
Ah! Sup?
What are you doing here? And what the hell? You scared me. What's your problem?
I should be asking you that. I've been looking for you all over the place, man.
What do you mean all over the place?
Very shitty.
I want to ask if he's been looking for me like that, stark naked, but I hold my tongue back. I realize I'm standing naked too, and I quickly hold my shirt in front of me, but Kenji doesn't seem to notice a thing. His glasses are fogged up, but then why don't you wipe them off? His vision is bad. It's like he's perpetually seeing through a fog.
You know, your room and... Yeah, that's it. Hey, I mean, I still had to get up, though. Whatever, it's not important. Can I borrow some money?
What? He puts on an innocent face and looks away, trying very hard to look very casual. It doesn't work. He's as transparent as his window pane-sized glasses. Talking neutrally like this, wearing nothing, feels awkward. Actually, somehow it feels even more awkward to be naked in front of someone when they can't see me being naked. To say nothing of the fact that he's naked as well. I tried to brush the feeling off with little success. Money, sure.
Awesome.
Wait, why do you need it?
Don't ask.
Can't you just give it to me because I had the goodwill not to run through your pockets while you were in the shower? I could have, but I exercised restraint. And in the end, isn't it the thought that counts? Come on, be a pal.
This makes no sense. If it's the thought that counts, I should withhold payment since his thoughts were so clearly impure and his intentions are probably even more sinister since he can't tell me what they are. I say as much to him.
I'm offended, man, but if that is your game, then fine. I guess I have no choice. I went to order a pizza, and I already have most of the cost of the pizza. I need your help for the rest.
I would like to order pizza.
He's so close,
I-
guys.
I'll get some of that pizza too, right?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I would give you some, but you have class, so you don't have time to eat a pizza.
What about you?
I'm not going to class. I have to wait for the pizza and then pay the guy, and then eat it. It's not easy, and you have to obtain the pizza stealthily. If you don't, everyone will see you and the pizza, and they will ask for a slice. It's a hard world out there. Everyone wants a piece. Then you're left pizzaless in an unforgiving world. It's happened before. That's all I know.
Oh my gosh.
Every day I plan my vengeance, so that when the people who wronged me order a pizza, I will be there, ever vigilant.
Kenji strikes a dramatic pose, completely without irony.
But yeah, I only need like 400 yen. Please, you're my only hope. I can't go outside and buy my own pizza, it's too far. I try not to go out unless it's absolutely necessary. Let me tell you what happened the last time I went out without carefully planning it out in advance.
He's just like you.
I was outside. I can't remember what I was doing. Something. Standing? Maybe wondering how I got there. And then, out of nowhere, it happened. Like a flash of lightning, splitting the sky. Like how you split a sandwich into 2 equal pieces to make it more manageable to hold and eat. A bird crapped on my head.
You deserved it.
It was the second most shocking moment in my life.
What was the first?
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
You already read it. You're in character.
What was the first? He ignores me and keeps going. I want to grab him and shake him. Is he just trying to keep momentum? I'll go with that, even if it's more likely he just didn't hear me.
It was like in the openings to some kind of anime show. You know how there is always a part where the main dude is fighting his rival, and then they fly at each other and clash swords, and there's like a big dramatic colored auras and zoom? It was like that, but with poo.
That's a good description.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I need some money. Please, don't leave me hanging, man. I only need like 1,000 yen.
What? I thought it was 400.
Okay. I'll pay you back, I swear.
No, you won't. You bet. That's what it means to borrow stuff.
I don't know when I'll be able to pay you back.
Oh gosh. You have 1 week. Kenji winches and makes it sound like a dying cow. A particularly disturbing fact giving his
Baton, dude.
Nice as a ton.
Sorry, I'm thinking about too much with fandom. We call it battens. Is conducting freely.
That's a good sentence.
You're not supposed to be so tight-assed about money between brothers in arms, man. Men have it bad enough as it is. Did you know that male porn stars only make about half of what female porn stars make?
That doesn't mean anything unless you're a porn star.
So maybe I am a porn star on the side, struggling to make ends meet as I fight the feminist agenda. And you can't even spot me your crumbs, you bastard. Nobody understands. Nobody.
Wouldn't feminists be against pornography in the first place? This feminist agenda stuff again?
This stuff is important. I can see that you don't give a shit, but this is serious here. Feminists are a dangerous enemy, make no mistake. You take them lightly, and you'll wake up in the morning with a knife on your back, bam, out of nowhere.
How do you wake up in the morning with someone stabbed you in your sleep?
Women are terrible at stabbing things.
I feel like we're great at stabbing things.
I feel like we're not gonna
I
test
thought you
this.
said don't take them lightly.
Well, I may don't take them lightly for the big things. Individually, they're not a threat, but if there was some kind of war, like a big war, with men on one side and the feminist forces on the other side, it would be pretty ugly. And that day will come when the feminists come out of their central top secret worldwide feminist headquarters and say, "It's on now, motherfuckers." You know, we used to be a family-friendly stream.
This happened.
I censored myself earlier. You're being
Kenji
ridiculous.
happened.
There's no big worldwide feminist headquarters building. Where would they even hide that? I mean,
Space.
it'd have to be massive. You can't hide that on Earth. Someone would notice a big fortress with women only in it. Would they?
You said it was on Earth.
Oh no.
I turn away from Kenji and start practicing frowning faces in the mirror so that I can figure out what kind of frown will best express my emotions. He can't see me from this distance anyways.
Absolutely.
Which unfortunately means he just keeps ranting on without any regard to sense or sensibility.
Yeah, there was a war going on. A war not many know about, but it's a great one that will one day boil over and encompass all the known world. Then we will have to pick our sides. We'll have to make a stand. In fact, it's happening right now. Imagine it, the bloody battlefield. A vicious conflict without end. I almost gave up when I thought this cause was silly. When I grew tired of the bleakness of our fight. When I mistook the power went out for a feminist raid and thought the end was near. But then I realized that if I gave up, it would all be over. And I was like, whoa. And I knew I had to get serious. Because I am the last sane man in an insane world. It's about duty.
must be a pretty crappy movement if it all hinges on one naked guy running in the bathroom to another naked guy.
So can I have the money?
Walking the way out, it's getting cold because I'm still naked and I want to go to class. So I agree to spot him the money.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. We should go bowling later on.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah.
Let's go bowl.
Bowling?
Yeah, it's the ultimate sport. There are almost no women bowlers either, making it also the manliest sport.
There aren't?
Yeah, there
Should
are.
I wear my
Almost.
pink
So
bowling
many.
shirt with matching shoes or the pastel green with flower accents?
There are bowling clothes?
Maybe.
Anyway, you better pay me back.
I can pay you back in stuff, right?
I don't have the time to ask him to elaborate on what that means. I don't know. I have to get to class. You're kind of in the way.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I don't want to hold you up, and I have some stuff to go do myself. The time has come.
I'm scared.
The time for what?
Pizza!
The feminist.
I just like
agenda.
saying that. Okay, now the time has really come.
For what?
I have to use the bathroom. Get out of it.
I was just going to. And what does that mean? It's a big bathroom.
So, I have to be alone or I can't go. The pressure.
Okay, what if someone comes in? Why are you asking this?
Just so many
Do you really want to know?
I'll think of something.
I give him my practical frown, and it looks kind of silly reflected in his glasses. He either doesn't notice or doesn't see. Anyways, so I get dressed and run back to my room, feeling as though an eternity has passed since I woke up. It has.
We went running. We ran into
That
our
is time.
roommate.
That is time I will never get back. I'll get him for this somehow. But right now, I have to get to class. I'm the first person in class today, although I think I'm a little too early. Then again, sitting alone here for 20 minutes sure beats having to suffer that time with Kenji. Yup. The combination of fatigue, frustration, and boredom starts making me feel very tired. Fall asleep. I black out for a second, waking up when my head hits the surface of my desk. Rubbing my forehead, I realize this is a good reason as any to stay up for now and stop coming to class so early later. Eventually I hear a tapping noise outside in the hall, and Lily's tall figure appears in the door. She's not in this class, so she must have some other business. Maybe she's looking for Hanako. Lily stops at the door, looking hesitant as if she was a vampire who can't come in unless invited. I consider doing so because she looks rather lonesome standing there. She steps in on her own accord, though, after straightening her skirt and shirt collar as if it was of importance to look prim when entering our classroom. Who's Lily?
That was Tristan, very deep voice.
Who wants to? You want to do it? You sure?
I'm not doing another voice.
Excuse me.
Nice.
Yes.
That's very deep.
All right, click.
Fair.
She calls into the quiet classroom without a delicate
Just like
voice.
a
I realize the silence might unnerve her because her blindness, so I break it. Good morning, Lily.
Sao? Good morning. Didn't hear you come in.
I wonder if she thinks it's suspicious I didn't say anything to her before. It's likely if I were to tell too big a lie now, it would sink me. Well, I was already here, just to sleep until now.
Oh. Have you seen Hanako today by any chance?
No, she seems to come in only just before the bell rings, or after that. Do you want me to tell her something for you?
No, it's fine. It's strange, but I think we're the only two people in the school right now. I didn't hear anyone else on my way here.
I shouldn't have gotten up so early today, I guess.
You're chastising yourself for doing something that other people should? Punctuality is a good thing. I think so anyway. It's a very busy morning today. Festival is coming up soon,
And today is the deadline for event registration, budget reports, and any other official paperwork. It could be that everyone is trying to complete the necessary forms at the last minute. Maybe that is why it's so quiet today.
Hi!
Yes. Oh dear.
This'll be
Misha
fun.
pops into the room with Shizuni, as if on cue, shouting with a loudness that makes Lily visibly flinch.
Poor Lily.
Hi, Hee-chan!
Hi.
Look, it's the class representative. Hello!
Lily smiles, probably amused by Misha or Shizuni's use of look.
Good morning.
Of course, you're not the representative of this class, right?
I'm not.
Lily seems to be more guarded in her answers to Shizuni about that than she was with me the other day. I guess they really don't get along at all. Then I realize that Lily might actually not know Shizuni is present, and she is trying to detect whether or not she is, to know who she is talking to. For all she knows, she's talking to Misha, but knowing that she and Shizuni are practically inseparable, she might expect Shizuni being the one that actually talks. Damn, how complicated. I decide to help Lily out for my own peace of mind more than anything else. You're here, early, Shizuni.
You were here even earlier than us.
Misha pops out her cheeks angrily. Why is she getting angry? Does she feel emotions on Shizuni's behalf too? That's not weird though. That Shizuni doesn't like my little comment. It's true, I was here earlier than them, so me saying something like that could definitely be misinterpreted as anything. Especially to Shizuni, who doesn't have the benefit of hearing tone to gauge intent. Before I can start weighing whether or not I should apologize, Shizuni has already moved on.
Class rep, it's a good thing you're here. We have to talk.
Oh dear.
The festival is coming up in 3 days, right? Every other class has already handed in their projected budget reports for their events. Even the first years, except you.
Yeah.
There's still some time to hand it in, isn't there?
Today! The deadline is today! You're certainly taking your time, aren't you? If I had it my way, I'd have all the necessary paperwork days ago, but someone had to say, the deadline, please extend it.
Oh, Shizune's angry. Yes, that was me. Planning something on this scale is not a small task. A week is too small a time for him to expect the whole class to work out such a complex issue completely.
Do you want to know what's harder than distributing the funds for one class's event? Handling the same matter for every class in the school and then some. The one who does that is me.
Misha puts her hands on her hips and stands up straight. Wow, she's really getting into the role. Lily doesn't look like she's very amused though. Hey Shizuni, aren't you being a little too hard on her? There's still a whole day left.
Please, Hisao. It's alright.
Lily seems happy I'm taking her aside, but a bit conflicted that I might not think she can take care of herself.
This is about the budget, and I'm disappointed you think that I have forgotten about it. I understand how important it is.
Then, can I have it, please?
No.
Shizuni, she might not have it on her at this exact second.
It's not here right now. I asked 2 students to take care of it for me. Students from my class.
She emphasizes the last sentence, much to my surprise. She knows about Shizuni and Misha's efforts to rope me into the student council. I guess word must have gotten around, so now she's using me as ammo against Shizuni. This is just gets better and better.
Shizune is
It was
pissed.
your responsibility. A budget report isn't something you should just be delegating away. As class rep, it's your job to be on top of things. This kind of disregard for proper procedure is really just terrible.
How do you expect her to see it?
They completed it, being capable of doing so. But the students have been sick recently, so they could not come to school and give it back to me. If you want, I will apologize on their behalf for getting sick.
Okay.
Although Misha misses Lily's little jab entirely, Shizune doesn't, and she seems torn between being offended by Lily's daring and jumping for joy at the prospect of a challenge.
Lily, don't they live here at the school? It's a 5-minute walk, you know. What could they possibly have that prevents them from taking 5 minutes out of their busy lives to drop off something that will affect the enjoyment of their entire class?
Lily opens her mouth to say something, but Shizune closes the gap between them and starts signing furiously, waving her hands around like an orchestra conductor.
Why would Lily stop? She can't see what she's doing.
Misha stops. Misha tries her best to convey the same passion, but can't seem to lose her normal cheerful tone. The result is interesting and somewhat surreal.
And what's with that attitude? I said it's not something you should be delegating away. Are you the class representative or aren't you? Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself.
God. How annoying she was.
One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of.
Lily's tone is growing slightly impatient, but she is doing a good job of not letting Shizune see how unsettled she is becoming. She's playing her cards close to her chest. Shizune, on the other hand, wraps her fingers cheerfully along the edge of her glasses, knowing Lily can neither hear nor see how excited she is.
Of course, you do so much, class rep. It must be so difficult being you.
Lily tightens her lips at Misha's words, clearly understanding the intent behind them, even though Misha delivers them without a hint of sarcasm, which they were meant to have. Shizune and Lily don't like each other, that much is clear, but this seems a little much. It seems like Lily has had enough and is ready to push back.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, they're gonna have an
Favorite
anime battle. I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all of your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own.
Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems you're confusing me with yourself.
Oh.
I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you.
Oh.
You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell.
Uh-oh.
It's not hard to guess which one you might represent.
Oh! The air between them ripples with the heat of their enmity. Yep. Well, not really. They can't disguise it anymore, though. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation.
Hey, Chai, don't you slack off either.
What are you talking about? Where did that come from?
Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hichan? You are, aren't you? Then, I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes
I
smoothly
only
than
came
this person.
I only came here 4 days ago. I don't understand why Shizune
here
is
we
suddenly
go.
getting mad at me.
Choice
Decision
time.
time!
Don't drag me into this. I've done my
Okay.
part. Don't drag me into this. That's probably the worst. That's the worst thing you can tell 2 girls who are fighting. Don't drag me into this. Is the
Then
worst
that means they
thing
just
you
team
can
up
tell
against
them.
you.
Yeah.
Don't drag me into this. What do you guys think?
Cause saying
Agree?
cut
Are
me
you-
and Lily.
yeah.
seems-
That's the
Right.
right choice.
Because I've done my part also means that you're not planning on helping anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, and saying cut me and Lily some slack means
puts
that
you on
like
her road.
you think you still have some part to play in this.
That puts you on Lily's road, I mean.
Why am I being dragged into this again? I've done more than enough work. More
Suck
than
it.
that, I think.
he's gonna
Oh,
die.
we are digging ourselves a hole so
Gonna
deep right
get
now.
dead.
If you're angry with Lily, it has nothing to do with
Oh.
me. Oh my god.
Where's the bell
That's a
being?
great
What?
donation.
Oh.
Let's see who it was from.
I thought you were
Oh,
taking
we
a
should have
nap.
a bell, but you don't have a bell. Oh, you could just say ding.
I like Kenji.
Possibly keep
Ding.
I like that they
Yeah, that's what you should do
Oh, I
next.
forgot about that part.
Anonymous.
What's the
Is there a message
donation?
with it?
Anonymous?
Anonymous $30 donation. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous,
Whoever
$30,
you are,
or
we
Miss
love
Anonymous,
Freaks me out, that
$30.
bell.
Yeah, I was like, is something
Is that
happening?
another wheel spin?
Is that another wheel spin?
Oh, gosh.
What's
We're now
the-
at
How
12.
do we divide by 150? So that-
Because
Well, that's
that was
messy.
12,
Excuse me, Matt, we're
1200
not allowed
would
to
be
do
a
that.
150.
1050 was a wheel spin.
Yeah,
1200 would
So
1200 would
is a
be a
wheel spin.
150
What are we at
because
now?
120 is divisible by
12.
15.
Okay.
We are at 1200.
So, all right.
Well, we'll do it later.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
you're angry with Lily, it has nothing to do with me.
Don't worry about it. It's
Now wait just a second. Are you implying the president is more right in
Oh,
the game than yourself?
nice.
Ah, damn. I think I could have worded that better.
definitely
The
could
wrong
have.
decision.
Peace out, guys.
No, I don't think that. I don't know about
Gotta
that,
go.
but I mean,
You did.
excuse me.
What are you saying, Hee-chan?
Everything. It's just that I hardly think it's fair you can say that, seeing as that I've helped you guys. The mood has changed. This is like a showdown between two gunfighters now. Well, it feels like that. It was like that before, but this time Shizuni's focus is on me.
Uh-oh.
And so is Lily's. Though she keeps quiet, I'm afraid I have inadvertently pissed her off. Yes, you have.
You really did.
Be
Oh,
Pissed
she.
off face.
Shizune's not happy.
Are you saying I'm wrong?
Yep. What a dangerous situation.
Danger, Will Robinson.
It's too early to argue
danger.
with you. Yes, I think it's unfair you're getting on my case.
Oh. Oh no.
Hee-chan, you want too much. But you have a point. Okay. You're not lazy, Hee-chan.
What? How does he want too much? He doesn't want anything. Literally, he wants nothing.
Shizune pushes her glasses up with her thumb, almost approvingly. What?
That's good. If you're not useless, you shouldn't let anyone say you are. But the next time I say it, it'll really be because you're disappointing me, like Miss Class Rep here. So don't let this go to your head.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh,
no.
it's a stab.
Lily's about to fire.
Lily
up.
takes the jab silently, a venomous visage frozen on her face.
Class Rep, Shi-chan says, don't forget that report, please.
I won't. Would that be all?
Yep.
Then, good day to you all.
Oh, she's
Her
pissed.
voice would cut the air of the classroom into half if it was more tangible.
Helen, it's a snuggie.
Her
There's
voice
sleep.
is
I know.
not tangible enough.
Lily leaves the room, understandably in a bad mood, but still managed to be as poised and calm as usual. Oh gosh. Hey Shizune. Oh, you really don't have to go. You really did go a little too far today. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
It's true, Shi-chan. Just a little.
If I had been expecting Shizune to grudgingly admit I had a point there as well, I think I was expecting too much. She doesn't respond.
Shi-chan thinks you should mind your own business.
Whoa, excuse me.
Hey-chan, we have a few last-minute things to take care of before class. We might be late, so can you please cover for us?
Yeah.
Perfect! Yay! Okay! Thanks, Hee-chan!
Got enough exclamations there?
No.
Needs more tilde.
They walk outside even though there are only 10 minutes left before the bell will ring, signaling the start of class. Hanako doesn't come to the morning class at all, leaving her seat looking empty and lonely in the back of the classroom. I have to tell her that Lily was looking for her if I see her later. After the events of this morning, the class is pretty boring in comparison. I turn the pages of my textbooks lazily. We've been covering the same amount of pages each day, so reading ahead is more or less giving myself a preview of what tomorrow's lesson will be about. The clock in the front of the room sounds unbearably loud. The teacher hasn't said anything in over 7 minutes, instead opting to cover the board in rows and rows of equations taken directly from the book.
Sounds about right.
The rhythmic clashing of chalk on a blackboard seems to synchronize perfectly with the ticking of the clock. I start to copy down the equations just to pass time, not noticing Misha's head poking over my shoulder until she's almost on top of me. Oh my gosh. What are you doing? I try to strike a balance between being quiet enough not to draw attention to myself and loud enough to draw hers.
What are you doing, Hichan?
Panic shot shoots through me as Misha starts talking in her normal volume, and I sputter out a hasty reply, still keeping my voice down despite the fact that she just blew any hope of being discreet I may have had. I'm copying down that stuff. What are you doing? Why so loud?
Aw, really? But it's all in the book. That's why no one else is copying it down.
I know. Why are you so loud?
Why are you so quiet, Hichan? It's hard to hear you.
I look around to see if anyone is noticing our conversation. It's pretty obvious that everyone has, even the teacher. Shizune smiles coyly, and I start to wonder if Misha is doing this because she told her to. Is it because of what happened between her and Lily earlier? Probably. This is what I get for trying to be reasonable, for trying to take the middle path. Shizune is way too prideful, although by now I should know to expect that kind of behavior from her. Why are you doing this?
Huh?
Misha is totally oblivious to the awkward stare the teacher is giving both of us while trying to balance her textbook on one finger. For a brief second, it looks as if things could get ugly, but the teacher simply looks away as if it's not worth the trouble. I guess this is a good thing, and I slump back in my seat in relief. The rest of the day passes by uneventfully, and this time I'm able to appreciate that it does. When the bell rings, I'm not in a hurry, so I stay for a bit, reviewing what we've covered in class today. I prefer to leave last anyway, so I don't have time to deal with crowding in the hallways. I noticed Shizune and Misha have also stayed behind, talking to someone from another class. Shizune's shining so fast that her hands make noise like swords cutting through the air. What? Misha is trying desperately to keep up, but it's clear she can barely manage to even understand her. I put my head down. Whatever they're discussing, it looks like serious business. Probably way over my head. Not just that, but Shizune also seems angry, although it could just be her normal severity making it appear so. Shizune signs to the point where her wrists crackle, and Misha is struggling to spit it out in word form. Sometimes she trips over herself like she's dealing with tongue twisters, and on top of that, she has to sign back everything the other girl says. It seems like a rough job. Misha looks tired, like she's about to faint. Luckily for her, their business is soon finished and the girls sit down on their seats again.
I'm so tired.
She's hanging her head limply on her desk, looking exhausted. Festival preparations must be tough for you. Indeed, the people in this school seem to be taking the festival very seriously. Whenever I see people idling around before and after classes, they're always talking about their plans for it. It's kind of neat to see everyone being so enthusiastic about it. I'm probably the only one who doesn't have something to do. Shizune starts signing at me, and Misha perks up, looking at her hands with slightly unfocused eyes. She signs with harsh, heavy, dramatic strokes. Misha translates her signing into speech for me. She does it so well, it's almost like Shizune is actually speaking, transmitting her thoughts directly through Misha.
Well, we're in the student council, so we're pretty busy.
Sarcasm?
Huh?
The tone of Shizune's actions make me think she is speaking with disdain, but Misha interprets it normally, replacing whatever intent may have been there with her own chipper twist on things. It's still disorienting, but I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Never mind. How could I forget, with you two trying to get me to join at least twice a day?
But Hichan, some could say that the work is too much. It'd be nice if students were to show a little more support for their leadership. Some appreciation to the ones who are working so hard to make it all possible. Maybe, for example, a little help. That's asking too much, is it? Yep, help would be appreciated from students like you.
No.
It's a recruitment
If
drive.
students would show their dedication in school spirit and offer some help, well, I don't exactly need it. But I wouldn't necessarily refuse it. So, it'd be nice if someone would help.
No. Go away.
Oh, hello.
Oh no.
I look over my shoulder and see Hanako peering timidly into the classroom,
not
most
that
of
bad.
her body hidden behind the door.
Hey, playing delinquent again?
Harsh. Hanako blushes hard at Misha's straightforward jab, even if it was only in jest. Shizune stares at her probingly, causing Hanako to look down and start backing away, to the point where only her fingers can be seen wrapped around the edge of the door. Maybe she is showing her dislike of Hanako by association of her dislike of Lily. It appears so, and Hanako probably knows it as well. They seem to have momentarily forgotten about trying to get me to stay for the rest of the day. Get out! What is it, Hanako?
Has Lily been here?
Sorry, Sato's not here. She, came by in the morning, though.
Hanako keeps looking uneasily at Shizune, who stares back at her with her usual studying gaze. What is she trying to do? Of course, Shizune isn't going to look away, and she's intimidating enough as it is, so I can only imagine how terrifying Hanako would be. It's a little funny, though, watching Hanako's reaction to Shizune's normal behavior. This is what happens when two people of two different extremes meet, it seems.
Do you know where she is?
If she has any sense in her head, she's in her classroom working on her festival project. But who knows where that woman is lawyering at? She might be slacking off somewhere, just like He-chan. It's obviously the Waluigi laugh.
Yeah.
Damn,
Good.
what is it with Shizune and her need to point out stuff like that? Hanako nods quickly and retreats with haste.
What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were working really hard to make the festival happen.
And driving other people insane along the way. Yup. Well, good luck with that.
Oh, damn.
I stand up to leave, making my exit before either of them manages to break me any more for slacking off.
Oh, she's already giving you the glare, though.
The halls are somewhat quiet as expected. Everyone must be in club meetings or at festival preparations, or both. Shizune's words about being a slacker echo in my head. I feel a bit guilty about not contributing, but I seem to lack the resolve to do something concrete about the matter. For the festival, it's too late already unless I count helping Shizune and Misha, which I naturally don't. And clubs, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a club type of person. Halfway through the way away from the school building to the dorms, I spot a figure in front of the dorms. It's Rin.
I was afraid it was Kenji still naked.
It looks like she's working on the mural today. I walk over to her, but she doesn't seem to notice me approaching. She's sitting on the upturned box, looking intently at the wall she is painting with a brush held between her toes. The mural has progressed considerably since yesterday, but is still only half done as far as I can tell. More colors have appeared and the twisting human-like figures have spread and increased in number. I have to say, the style is quite eye-catching and very unique. Not that I would be knowledgeable about art by any measurable scale, but it is very nice looking, nevertheless. I clear my throat to get her attention, but not to startle her so that her concentration won't break.
Wait.
She doesn't even turn to check who it is. I'll wait. How long are we waiting?
Oh
Not
god.
done yet.
Really?
15 minutes later, I decide that her concentration is indeed unbroken, and also that I have waited long enough to warrant poking her gently on the shoulder to remind her of my presence. Rin turns her head mechanically in my direction and ending up staring at my crotch level.
Okay. Oh, it's Esau.
She can tell. I would feel a lot less uncomfortable if she would look at my face. An astute observation. Hard at work, I see. The conversation starts as if I haven't been here for a quarter of an hour already, but it's not a concern. At least it starts. Looking good. It does. The layers of paint hiding another layer of paint, mixing and shaping the human figures really create an impressive look. But Rin looks miffed. I'm fine, Kelly.
You shouldn't comment on works in progress. 7 years of bad luck.
Sounds terrible. I guess I'll take it back then.
Good.
Still, it looks good. I wonder if it'll get 14 years of bad luck for thinking that. Rin turns back to look at her painting and pokes it with a big toe.
Could you mix some of this color? I'm running out of it.
She looks down at a half-empty bowl with the remains of the same pinkish paint in it. I don't really intend to stay and help her with this project. I guess I don't intend to do much of anything. I look at Rin, and she looks emptily back at me. Just this once. Rin picks up another brush and drenches it in another tone of pale red, and there are dozens of similar bowls all around her working area. From the looks of the scene, she could have been sitting here for hours. I wonder if she has, and would probably mean she'd been skipping school, though, which I, of course, wouldn't put beyond someone like Rin. I pour a little bit of white and red into a bowl and try to match the color with the one already on the wall. I can't seem to get it right. It's already inconvenient of her not to mix enough in the first place. Getting it to be exactly the same tone will be impossible, but at least I can try to get it as close as I can. Speaking of hard work, isn't it that a huge workload for you too? It's such a big painting and all.
Oh, I'm not old and bitter enough yet to think like that.
I guess you aren't.
Okay. You guessed right. Legs hurt though. They feel like slugs. Slugs made of sea slugs.
Because of this position?
Yeah, I like doing it in the horizontal position more, if you know what I'm talking about.
Rin! Rin! What are you doing?
But it can't be helped. Can't ask the wall to lay down.
Saying that, she stretches herself a little, bending her legs and back far more than a human should flex. It's astonishing how effortlessly she manages her body.
This rain is so rude. It's being so loud.
There's a small flinch in her otherwise blank expression. A hint of pain, maybe, as she stretches out her calves. Rin must have stamina and dexterity far beyond a normal person to be able to live like she does, but she's wearing out working on this. Why push yourself so much? Take a break or something, at least. Continue tomorrow if it's bad. That gives her a pause. A long one, too. Feeling like a mental yawn. Oh, God.
I don't think so, Esau. I'm not pushing myself.
Sure looks like you are.
No, it's not about pushing or pulling or anything related to that kind of thing. There is this boy.
A boy?
Yes.
Where?
At the art club.
And?
He is blind.
Oh. How can you paint if you're blind?
No idea.
So why is it there?
That's the point. He is there.
She really should speak more than one word at a time to make this feel more like a discussion and less like an interrogation.
Sorry. He can't really do anything that you'd call art, right? But he comes there anyway and paints. Why?
I don't know. Why?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
So?
He doesn't paint often, but I think his paintings are very interesting.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.
No, I lost the mouse. Yeah, I don't want to.
I once tried that, painting with eyes closed. Wasn't too interesting, and cleaning up the floor took ages. Didn't try again. But he's becoming better at sculpting. Well, duh, it's a 3D art.
I see. He doesn't. Maybe she was trying to make a point with this. Maybe she forgot she had one. Seems like the art club is full of interesting people.
Not really.
Pretty blunt statement. She totally misses the sarcasm. No.
Just like I said, they're not very interesting. I usually don't have much interest in people who are not interesting. Maybe you have.
Maybe.
But that boy is interesting.
Someone's got it.
Maybe I'm like that boy. Or maybe you are. Maybe everyone is. Doing things you can't do just because you can.
What? That's pretty deep, I think, and I tell her that. Tell that to her. You're a deep one.
Mr. Grinch. Nah, I'm a really shallow and thoughtless person. People say that to me all the time. Did you know I can only think of 4 things at the same time?
What?
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 No, but I do now. Now I do.
Right, now I'm thinking of the second floor girls' toilet, ice cream flavored ice cream, the middle toe, and a haircut. I'm going to need a haircut. She
Switching up.
She shakes her head around vigorously, letting her short and messy hair ruffle wildly around.
It didn't work.
I can see that doing it is something she likes to do. We fall silent as Rin treads around absent-mindedly, poking some brushes around. The thought about the art club sticks in my head for a while longer. I'm feeling like I'm treading on very unknown territory with art. The way these meetings with Ren go, it's as though I'm starting a smoking habit or something. I should probably stop talking with her.
That's fine.
It's not like I dislike her, despite the confusion her being herself causes, and I don't dislike art either. I've even drawn for fun sometimes. I just don't have a real creative drive or any technical skill. So usually if I were to draw something, I get white paper syndrome and just freeze completely. That, or I manage to draw something disfigured and promptly get frustrated at my inability to put the picture in my head down on the paper, and then call it quits without really even trying to make an effort. Wow, we are lazy. Rin clearly doesn't have this problem, but she frustrates me in another way. Being with her is like looking in a mirror that doesn't reflect anything. It makes one question the sanity of the act. Rin sits down on her box, swaying from side to side, apparently comfortable with the uncomfortable silence. She's staring at me again, or maybe over my shoulder. I can't quite figure out where her eyes are focused. I'm thinking of leaving so she can carry on her work undistracted, and I can do whatever I'm going to do alone. It's not like I have anything that must be done today. Oh, shoot.
Who?
Nobody. I just forgot to tell Hanako that Lily was looking for her. Do you know her from my class?
Oh, her. The mystery toilet girl. What? That person is funny. I saw her go to the toilet 5 times during one recess 3 weeks ago. I'm sure it's a world record. It was very mysterious.
That's why you call her the mysterious mystery toilet girl.
What other reason could there possibly be? Well, if there is, it's an eternal mystery. I didn't follow her in there.
Good.
Maybe it was the week before that? Could have been. Looking at her makes me hungry. What?
Don't say that. At least not around her. Rin turns to look at me blankly, as if she's not sure why I reproved her. But she doesn't acknowledge understanding any more than before, so I give up at this point. So, do you want to eat dinner then?
No, not yet.
Rin has turned her hunger gaze back to the wall, looking slightly more energetic, at least slightly less lethargic than she did before. It's as if the wall is an opponent that she has to vanquish, something she must overcome before she can indulge in dinner. This is the feeling I get. A weird sense of empathy overcomes me and makes me smile a little to myself. For all her oddity, Rin is pretty cool after all. I'll be going anyway. Have fun. Rin has already grasped a brush and dipped it into fresh paint, so of course she can't hear me anymore or doesn't answer anything, even if she does. I'm feeling tired, so I set my alarm clock to wake me up as late as I can afford while still making it to the first class. The nurse's voice is almost nagging me in the back of my head about morning jogs. I make a resolution to make up for it by going for a walk after school tomorrow. Emmy won't care either way, I bet. We made it through another day.
We
That was
finished
fast.
Thursday.
3 more days.
We can do it. Let's go.
Wait, are we finished? Oh god, we're finishing the week today.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I wake up and take a hot shower.
And we're proud of you.
I really hope Kenji doesn't show up again.
I kind of want to again.
I need him to
Click.
not.
Oh, you see
At least not naked again.
Back in my room, the first thing I see is a familiar row of medication bottles lined up on top of my dresser, and it makes me depressed as usual. It's annoying. I thought I was okay. I thought I had made my peace with this thing and gotten over it. But what I really did, I allowed myself to forget that I have a problem. Being here reminds me of the reality, and trying to fight against it is just hard, just hurts. Reflecting on it only going to do so much. Oh, I forgot the is. I've gotten this done. I've done this before for months. It seems like it's time to get over it.
Dyslexia is a real struggle.
Yep. If I allow myself to forget that my life is definitely not going to be as long as those of others, I won't get anywhere. My life may be different from others, but it's a life in progress.
Aren't you guys trying
That's
to
how
progress
I
it to death?
rationalize it. I down the usual handful of pills, trying to push the sudden dreary feeling out of my head. Then I prepare to head out to class, early as usual. I step into the hallway and notice Kenji coming around the hallway corner,
yes.
stealthily making his way to his own room with a large bag. As he sneaks past me soundlessly like a ninja in plain sight, I call him out. Why? Hey.
Oh, thank God he's
He
close.
jumps in. He's not in the bathroom.
I don't care.
He jumps at the sound of my voice.
Oh, hey, man. I didn't notice you there. I'm really tired.
I think it's more like he didn't see me. But that's not the issue. Where have you been this early? Shopping?
Nah, I wasn't shopping. Sometimes I have to visit the math teacher. Yeah, I figured it would be a good idea to find out when the next exam is, since he tells you in advance if you want.
So then, what's in the bag?
Pizza.
I thought I'd go shopping while I was outside. I need supplies to continue the fight against the vast feminist conspiracy.
Okay. I thought you didn't go outside.
I wear a hat now.
Tinfoil? I decide not to point
doctor.
out that he's not wearing a hat. An awkward silence settles between us, and then Kenji breaks it by pushing his door open slowly, releasing a creaking sound into the air that only makes the moment seem more awkward. He sets the bag down inside his room and then closes the door.
Gesundheit.
I'm surprised you went out of your way to find out a test date. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity to study is pretty diligent.
I never study.
Oh.
I just wanted to know when the next test day was. I'm still going to take it, duh. I need to know so I know what day I can't afford to skip class. He usually sends out updates on that crap by phone, so I had to step out and check up on it.
Does Kenji not have a phone?
And why do you have to go out when you can get it on your phone?
I don't carry a phone.
Of course you don't. And what do you mean you don't carry
I
a
bet
phone?
it's gotta do with
You
the
mean you just
feminists.
leave it at home?
Nah, I don't use phones. I don't have a phone. Phones. I have no phone.
Why don't you have a phone? How can you not have a phone? No phone at all? No phone?
I just don't like phones. Actually, I'm kind of scared of them. I don't know why. I think it's some kind of repressed trauma. But basically, when I hear a phone, I get nervous. It's my darkest secret. I have two theories on it. Either I have some fear of receiving some undefined, ominous, life-altering doom call, or I was beaten with a phone in the past. Beaten so badly I can't remember it.
With a
Beaten in the
with a
head.
phone?
Well, where else could I possibly get beaten with a phone that would make me unable to remember it?
Yes.
That's a good point, yeah.
Unexpectedly logical. I feel very depressed now. Sensing this conversation is more or less over, Kenji opens the door again and prepares to head inside.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep, dude. Have a good one.
Class is going to start in 20 minutes.
I already did something today. Too tired to go to school.
Of course.
Ah.
Hey, you need some lip balm? I accidentally bought two because I thought the store had started selling individual AA batteries.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Whatever, man.
He swiftly enters his lair, finally letting me go to the class. For a change, I'm not among the first ones to come in the morning class. Instead, almost everyone else seems to be here already. I recognize most of my class by face now, though the names escape me still. The class goes on lazily. I think I'm starting to get into the rhythm of the school. I have even stopped worrying about taking notes and being overtly attentive. The first days, I was pretty high-strung in class. Motu finishes his lecture about electricity early, but continues on without a pause about the festival.
So, as you know, the festival is on the day after tomorrow. I hope everyone's projects are going to be successful this year.
No.
Have a good time, but also come Sunday, please keep the meaning of this festival in your minds.
Games and fried food!
Everyone bursts into laughter, and so do I.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mikado. But
You forgot to breathe.
Right.
No, it just skips automatically.
That's so weird.
So quick.
The remainder of
That's
the
fair,
sentence
actually.
is buried beneath the ringing of lunch bells, and everyone starts packing their things. Moto deliberates for a moment, but since almost nobody seems to be paying attention anymore, he gives up and sits down.
And thus Hisao will never learn the true meaning of Christmas.
No, the festival.
true meaning of the festival.
It's crowded in the halls, or as crowded as halls in this school probably get. Most of the students seem to be heading down for the cafeteria.
Oh, it's me. Hisao! I'm going to make you a one-time only super extra special lunch offer. Emmy's homemade lunch boxes, and the privilege of enjoying them in private with two bombshell beauties.
Her overly flirtatious sales pitch echoes in the hall, a remarkable feat since it's full of people. Emmy strikes a very confident-looking pose, as though as an attempt to one-up her own ridiculousness, puffing her very modest chest and
Alright.
making a V for
This is the
victory
game.
sign with her hand. Sounds delicious. To what do I owe this honor of being invited?
You stood there looking really lost and sad, so I thought you could use some company.
That's probably the most depressing reason imaginable.
Yep.
So, how about it? You're probably really lonely and would eat that awful cafeteria
Oh,
food
God.
all alone otherwise. I'm kidding.
Sure, I'll have your lunch offer with pleasure.
Let's go to the roof.
The roof? Why the roof?
Because that's where we eat lunch.
On the roof.
And if
Oh,
I don't get
no.
up there, then she'll probably wander off, and then I just know she'll go hungry because she never packs a lunch for herself.
Ren's on the roof.
Who will?
Come with me.
Without answering my question or waiting
bet
for
I
a
know
response,
who's on
she
the
grabs me by the arm and drags me through the halls. Close enough. I attempt to make a conversation on the way. Why do you have an extra lunch? Emmy smiles guiltily.
Actually, it's yesterday's lunch. I slipped in the run at lunch and forgot to eat it.
Huh. The stairway to the roof is a little dilapidated, but it's clearly been used recently. At the top of the stairs is a door, complete with a missing padlock. Of course. I wonder who the intrepid individual was that removed the lock. Emmy shoves the door open and steps beaming into the sunlight. Suddenly, a tall, dark stranger appears out of nowhere, standing imposingly in front of us. Emmy flinches back, almost falling back down the stairs.
Eek!
His voice.
That's
Hello.
Rin.
I think it's.
I'm pretty sure it's Ren.
Yeah.
Yipes!
Yep.
You scared me, Rin.
Wow. Who would have guessed?
Wait, isn't she?
Hello.
Noticing that Ren is speaking to me, Emmy looks curiously at me.
You two know each other?
I look confusedly at Emmy. She's one of your friends? Yeah, she's not friend of yours. I know words. Ren has turned her gaze towards the clouds drifting above the school.
I didn't know you knew this person, Emmy.
The awkward silence lasts only for a few seconds until Emmy lets out a tiny giggle, shrugging the coincidence off.
I invited Hisao for lunch. If you know him, that's just better.
Oh, does this mean I don't get food? Or did you invite him for lunch without the lunch?
Neither. I have food for 3.
Nice thinking.
They walk to the other end of the roof, while I stay at the clock tower for a while, taking in the atmosphere. There's nobody else but us here. I guess the roof is not as popular as it is in other schools. A few run-down benches and tables are scattered around the edges, perhaps in an attempt to make the rooftop look less desolate. The small pebbles covering the roof rattle beneath our feet. I peek through the chain-link fence to take a look at the school grounds and beyond. Students are strolling in pairs and groups around the quadrangle at the cafeteria. A few delivery trucks are driving past the school towards the convenience store nearby. Somewhere, a watchdog barks at a passerby.
Orc.
Somehow, when I look towards the town center, a small town feels strikes me very strongly, almost palpably. The hectic lifestyle of a big metropolis seems so far away and foreign here. Nobody has to run to catch a bus, like their life depended on it, or get their senses overloaded by neon lights and traffic jams. I feel surprisingly optimistic about this new life of mine, looking at my new hometown, even if it's going to be mine for only one short year. Finding out about my illness and having to move away from home all came so suddenly, I haven't had time to think how I feel about it. When I step out of the shadow of the clock tower to the open, I feel warmth touching my back. The sun shines from a perfectly clear cerulean sky. A cool breeze sweeping over the rooftop makes me shiver, but only briefly. The wind carries the scent of trees and flowers, not smog and car exhaust like it used to just a few weeks ago. Emmy settles on a bench with Ren in tow and produces one big and 2 small lunchboxes from her bag.
Oh. Come on, Hisao, what are you waiting for?
She is beckoning me to join them, making room on an already small bench.
Jesus.
I see myself on the corner of the bench to take as little space as possible. It's pretty cramped, but somehow all 3 of us fit on it. Impressive view. Emmy suppresses a giggle and places a lunchbox in front of Rin and hands another lunchbox to me.
Here you go, lunch is promised.
Homemade, no less. I'm impressed. Wow, this looks really good.
Thanks. I make it myself when I can.
Conversation dies off as I set about the business of feeding myself. Taking a few bites, I glance up and notice Rin deftly opening the lunchbox and poking a forkful of food into her mouth using only her feet. Even though I've seen it before, I can't help but be impressed by her dexterity. It's also a reminder of the sort of place I'm in right now. Will I ever get used to sights such as this? I can't decide if getting used to such a thing would be a good thing or a bad thing either. Does getting used to this place mean I'm giving up on being a normal person? Or does it just mean that I'm becoming more understanding about those around me? I'm distracted from my thoughts by the sight of Emmy tearing into her lunch as if it had insulted her ancestors. Emmy looks up, mouth half full, and swallows before nodding.
My morning run always works up an appetite. Which is great, because then I burn through lunch pretty quickly. Helps me keep my girlish figure.
What would happen if you'd lose it? Would you become a man?
I nearly choke on my lunch trying not to laugh.
It's a figure of speech.
Does your figure have to run in the mornings too?
Do you always talk like this?
Talk like what?
Like what?
I think that answers my question. Never mind. So, I struggle to think of small talk and settle on obvious questions. How did you two meet? Rin seems content to let Emmy answer this question.
Someone in the housing department thought that we'd complement each other well, so we were assigned rooms next to one another.
Hey guys, let's put the girl without
Compliment
legs
each other?
next to the girl without arms. It'll be great.
Compliment each other?
There'll be one person.
Like shoes in a suit.
Yeah, one whole person.
Huh? Emmy giggles at my confusion.
Put us together and we've got all our limbs,
Oh,
get
there
it?
you go.
Ah.
So I started helping Rin get ready in the mornings, and that was that. I mean, you can't help someone get dressed every morning and not get along.
I see. Ren chooses this moment to interject.
I have trouble with shirts.
Right. That seems fairly obvious.
Really?
Kind of. This isn't helping, but at least Emmy seems to find this whole thing funny. That, combined with the fact that Rin is genuinely curious, makes me feel slightly better and yet confused. I mean, you've got no arms. So,
Oh, dear.
putting on a shirt seems like one of those things that would be difficult. You know what? I'm gonna just stop talking now. It'll save a lot of trouble in the long run. Ren nods in what I suspect is meant to be a stage manner.
I see.
The conversation dies and I turn my attention back to my lunch. This is really quite good. Emmy finishes her lunch first and makes a contented noise.
Ah, that was good!
As she busies herself with cleaning up her lunch, Rin speaks up.
I'm thirsty.
Oh, I almost forgot about that, sorry.
She tosses me one that appears to be cranberry juice, one to Rin that appears to be some kind of strawberry milk, complete with Rin dexterously stabs her straw through the top of her box and begins to drink. I once again am impressed by how flexible she is, but this time I keep my comments to myself. Somehow I don't think either Remy or Rin are the sort of people
Remy or
to think twice about the way they work around particular disabilities. Rin especially so. Indeed, she gives off an impression of being entirely unaware that she is missing any limbs at all. Whether or not that's a conscious decision is another matter. I'm honestly not sure.
So, Hisao, how do you like it up here?
It's quite nice. Actually, I like high places for the view.
Do a flip.
Thanks for inviting me up here. And for the lunch, too. Emmy grins a 1,000-watt grin, pleased by my response, I suppose.
No problem. Feel free to eat with us next time too, okay? I won't make you a lunch, but you can bring your own up here.
No lunch service? I don't know. Emmy looks mock offended.
Trying to take advantage of my good nature? The nerve!
She'll kick you.
She giggles.
Well, If that's your answer, I guess Rin and I will just keep eating lunch all alone.
I'm suddenly assaulted by the most heart-rending puppy dog eyes I've ever seen as Emmy pouts. Kidding, always kidding. I'd love to eat lunch up here again. Good location, and the company's okay too. Emmy frowns a bit at my declaration of okay, but seems happy enough that I've accepted her invitation. I guess this makes us friends now. Woohoo! Or at least acquaintances. The lunch bell rings, signaling a return downstairs.
Rin, you didn't finish your lunch again.
I wasn't that hungry.
If you don't eat more, you're going to fade away.
Eh.
Rin shrugs as if this is an acceptable risk. Come on, we better get going. The three of us head downstairs together. The afternoon classes passes. Once again, I find myself without a plan for something to do after school, so I head to the library to return a couple of books I finished reading. Maybe read them. Walking inside, I see there are about as many students here as there were on Tuesday, all the more evident from the almost total silence enveloping the room.
What?
As I drop the books I borrowed into the return slot at the counter, Yukio suddenly pops up from behind it, startling me. Quite startled from the banging they made as they hit the trolley next to her. Oh, sorry, Yukio, didn't mean to startle you.
No, that's fine. It happens a lot. I'm used to it by now.
I honestly, it just says geeky, and I'm honestly not sure what voice I did for that.
Close enough.
Can I help you?
It's okay. I think I know where everything is. Thanks anyways. I suppose I'll grab another book or two while I'm here. There's not much else to do after reading so much during my stay at the hospital, it's become a hard habit to break.
Maybe you should try exercising more.
No. I wandered down to the fiction section towards the back of the library, scanning the bookshelves for anything that catches my eyes. I only one now. As I do, I look over to the counter where Hanako had been the last time I was here, and not really expecting anything to come of it. Surprisingly, though, she's there, absorbed completely in a fairly thick book. I decide against intruding on her like last time and get back to finding reading material. After an indiscernible amount of time spent pursuing the aisles, I finally decide on a couple of books to get and slide them off the shelf. With a minimum of fuss, I quickly walk over to the counter, check out my books, and pop them into my bag as I walk out. By the time I'm leaving the main building, the sunset isn't too far away. A small trickle of students remain, but the majority have left, presumably to their homes and dorms. I guess I need to buy some supplies. I can't live off cafeteria food and eating out for my entire stay here. As I leave for the gate, I make a few loud stretches to try and stave off the tiredness that's accumulated over the week. After passing through and rounding the corner, I see a solitary figure walking downhill towards the small town below. The color of her hair and the tapping of her cane are unmistakable. I quickly walk up to her, which seems to catch her attention without a word needing to be said. Hi, Lily. She takes a moment to place the voice, slightly adjusting her head to face a bit more towards the source of my voice as she does.
Sao?
Yep, that's me. She seems to have a good memory of her voices. The fact that she can actually remember is a pleasant surprise.
Good evening. What brings you here?
Once again, she gives a small, polite bow, and once again, I reply in kind before realizing I needed to do so. Just going to town, you?
My, what a coincidence.
Doing the same thing, eh?
I usually go shopping on Fridays.
She pauses for a moment, suddenly looking a little lost.
That said, Hanako usually comes into town with me.
Ah, not lost but worried. The two seem pretty close to keep pretty close tabs on one another. It's kind of surprising that Hanako would just forget Lily like that. I noticed her reading in the library. She probably just got caught up in a book. She lets a small sigh of relief.
Thank you. She has a habit of doing that.
Avid reader?
Right. She doesn't like being around crowds of people, so reading away from everyone lets her relax a bit.
Although she probably didn't intend it, I can't help but grimace as I recall my first meeting with her. Hardly wanting to bring it up, I remained silent as we continued to walk down the quiet road. Tick-tack, tick-tack. Nope, it was just tacks. With the road bereft of cars. And the students of Yamaku increasingly far behind us. The quiet rustling of the leaves and the measured tapping of Lily's cane against the sidewalk are all that can be heard. It's kind of nice, especially compared to the hustle and bustle of where I used to live. Before I know it, I've relaxed so much that a loud yawn escapes before I can control it.
Don't do that, I will yawn.
Tired?
No.
Yeah, I've been running ragged these past few days. That's an understatement to be sure. Transferring into a different school would be bad enough, but nothing like this.
Well, hopefully everything should settle down for you. The festival's got everyone in a spin right now. You've been plopped right in the middle of things.
For a moment I hesitate, but given her apparent tolerance for frankness, I decide to give my full thoughts. I guess Yamaku's kind of different though. I mean, the formalities surrounding everything, the isolation around it, not to mention the most obvious difference. It's kind of a whole different mindset. I suppose I'll get used to it though in time. She gives a matter-of-fact nod, apparently pleased with my answer. It feels almost like she's included me in the flock of students she's shepherding along with class 3-2 and Hanako. Well, not that I mind. It's nice to get the thoughts off my chest in any case.
Looking on the bright side, one could see it as a new chance for a new beginning. You should cherish the ability to make new friends.
That's optimistic. Nonetheless, it's good to have a positive attitude about such things, I suppose. I guess that's a good take on it. Walking down the road, she seems to become somewhat unsettled. Before I can ask her what's on her mind, she seems to collect herself and speaks up about something else.
So, where in town were you going?
That's actually a pretty good question. I'd come to buy food, but the layout of the place is still totally foreign to me. I had intended to just wander around and see what I could find, but the sunset approaching and nightfall not too far away, it doesn't seem very wise. I'm going to have to ask her for directions, again. I was just going to get some food, but now that you mention it, I don't really know the way.
Well now, this is quite lucky. I was just about to go to the convenience store myself.
Of course you were. Looks like I'll be in your care again then. Thanks. Together we walked down into the store, my pace carefully slowed to remain beside her. Compared to my usual walking pace, hers is quite a bit slower. Not that it's without reason. After what couldn't have been more than several minutes, I catch sight of our objective. This town is pretty small. Without further ado, we make our way inside with a greeting from the counter.
Mind if I tag along with you? Usually Hanako would help me, but seeing as she's not here...
It takes me a moment to realize what she means. Considering she wouldn't be able to read any of the labels, shopping without any help would be a big pain for her. That said, I can't shake the feeling that she's had this idea since I was coming here. Sure, be my pleasure. I grab 2 well-used red baskets from the small stack beside the entrance, handing one to Lily. She lays it on the ground, putting her school bag in it, retracts her cane and slides it through the basket handles before picking it back up with her right hand. Wait, she isn't going to use her cane? Before I can complete the thought, she comes beside me and pinches the cuff of my uniform in her slender fingers.
Is
Sure. I have no reason to
Aggressive, Lily.
I have no reason not to accept it. I can think of worse things than shopping with a pretty girl holding on to me, even if it's out of necessity. We can navigate our way through the store with not one of the occasional passing customers seeming to bat an eyelid.
Just necessity.
I know. Considering how
Bare
close
necessities.
Yamaku is, I guess seeing students from there must be entirely normal for the local residents. As we reach each aisle, I quickly check with Lily and find out what she needs. I grab it along with what I'm looking for and put our items into their respective baskets. I guess this is the same routine she and Hanako follow every Friday. Right, all that's left is the bread, and that should be my shopping done. Do you need anything else, Lily?
No, this should be everything.
Off we go then. With a quick side trip to the bakery section, we make our way to the registers. The line, thankfully, is almost non-existent. It's not long before we both paid for our food and are out the door. Lily retrieves her cane and extends it to full length. I waste a minute looking up towards the night sky while holding both our bags. For a moment, I try to make clouds with my breath, but summer's heat doesn't seem to cooperate. Eventually, she rights herself, taking a quick stretch before taking her bag and leaving me with my two. You tired as well?
The festival preparations have been complete chaos. Shizune breathing down my neck doesn't exactly help things either.
Hey, she's only trying to get everything organized. Better now than later, right?
I suppose. I'm going to enjoy relaxing in town tomorrow, that's for certain.
I guess the festival preparations must be taking the toll on both of them. We walk out into the quiet street, talking between ourselves as we carry our bags of food and supplies from the store. Wait, what's that? I notice a very distinct figure making its way towards us, silhouetted by street lamps. For a second, I think it's I thought it was another male student, but as he, or should I say she, gets closer, I recognize her quickly. Rin, what are you doing out here so late?
Rin?
Lily pokes her head, looking like she's trying to focus on listening more keenly. It suddenly comes to me I should probably interpret the scene for her. It's Rin Tezuka. I think that was her last name from our school. She stiffens at the name and gives a complicated-looking expression, something like a forced fusion of composed smile and painful cringe.
Ah, I understand.
I guess Lily knows Rin too. Rin turns to look at us, looking terribly out of it. I'm not entirely sure if she recognizes either of us, or at least doesn't acknowledge it if she does. She looks like a zombie, or a statue of a zombie. But slowly, some symptoms of understanding seem to light. In her dark eyes, this is something she must react to. Rin blinks once, very thoughtfully. Thoroughly.
Hello.
There's an awkward pause, everyone waiting for someone else to say something. What are you doing here this late?
I was wondering about that myself too, just now. Some people asked that just before. I assumed they were wondering the same. I don't know. They didn't know either. I asked. That's why I'm wondering. So, that's pretty much it. It's a murder mystery without a murder. Are we sure?
Very bloody.
Are we sure about that? They were going that way.
She turns to face her right in order to demonstrate the direction the other people went, as if that was important, then rotates back like a mechanical puppet in one of those overly complicated clockworks. For a person who gives an impression of being the quiet type, Rin really does use a lot of words to say things that don't need to be said. No, don't need a lot to be said. Unsure if she's finished, I say nothing. Neither does Lily, who seems equally robbed of words for the time being. I think both of us are just, in fact, scared. Are in fact just scared that any response might provoke her to continue. Our stupefied lack of reaction doesn't faze Ren at all. She keeps looking at us expectantly, a calm hint of expression on her blank face. She seems to be that kind of person, always so relaxed. As if a elephant-grade sedative were flowing in her veins in the place of blood.
Do you have amnesia? I don't recall you having anything of the sort, though.
No, I don't think that's it. The other passerbys were probably just wondering, though. You do really look lost. The way you stand there in the middle of the street. It's not safe.
Oh, I see. Maybe I should have taken some other kind of pose in that case.
I pondered for a while whether I should chase this angle further or give up for the sake of my own sanity. Give up. I decide on the later.
Latter.
Whatever. It seems that most of the time, it's better not to read too deeply into what Rin is babbling about. Talking with Rin is like playing chess with a supercomputer who does seemingly completely random moves as if to mock everything you know about chess. It's like that, except with human interaction.
Sounds about
And
right.
even if I win, it feels like losing. Damn, it's just like Kenji said, even if I win, I lose. So is this the power of girls?
Yes.
I push the thought aside as it's too dangerous to consider further. It's probably just Genji's anti-feminine female propaganda getting to me during the moment of weakness. Yeah, maybe taking another pose might have worked. So anything yet? So anyway, you have no idea what you're doing here? She frowns, looking extremely displeased at either my question, its consequences, or the answer she's about to give.
I do have some idea. I can't really tell what kind of an idea.
Sounds like progress, at least.
Lily sounds as if she spotted an opening for some kind of discernible, normal conversation. I can't say if I share her optimism.
Yes, there is some. Definitely. The rest will come later. I'm sure of it. I always have reasons.
The ensuing silence kills Lily's hopes all too visibly. That doesn't last long. Rin, as far as I can tell, unbased assurance aside, what should be done? You could just leave her here to her own devices, whatever those are. But it's late, and I don't think we'd be getting anything if Rin is found standing here in the middle of the night. Which she probably will, unless she manages to remember what she's doing here in the first place. As for me, trying to guess what might have been going on in her head when she decided to embark on this adventure, the chances seem to be on par with winning the lottery. Several times in a row. Lily is oddly patient too. I'd appreciate some support from the sidelines here, especially if she's more familiar with Rin than I am. But it can't be helped. It seems her familiarity with Ren is exactly why she's acting subdued. So, I assume you were going somewhere and not coming back to school. Any idea where? Her eyes widen in shock and she jolts back in a somewhat artificial way, making it seem like an act rehearsed for situations like this.
Are you a mind reader? Is that your disability? How unique.
No, what? Why would you think that?
You knew what I was doing.
It was just an educated guess. We walked this same street in the other direction just before to go to the store. If you were going to school, we would have met you on the way.
Oh.
She looks a little disappointed. Like Kenji, Ren appears quick to jump to complete irrational conclusions. Maybe it's something in the water here. I should make a mental note to stock up on soft drinks. You know, that's the second time this week that someone asked if I was a mind reader. Do I really give off that impression? Rin shrugs her shoulders, which is all the answer I get. You know,
Maybe you should come back with us to the school.
Lily interjects just as I'm about to further debunk my alleged mind-reading capabilities. She sounds rather concerned. The paper-thin smile on her face badly disguises that fact. Maybe she came to the same conclusion as I did. For everyone's sake, I decided to let the mind reading topic drop, as it's entirely inane way. Anyway. Yeah, Lily's right. If you can't remember, there's no point in staying here. Ren considers this rather simple deduction for a moment, then nods. Kelly.
Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
We start back towards the school again, having wasted way more time than necessary with this episode. Ren walks along the edge of the sidewalk with her rhythmic way, looking like a mix of a sleepwalker and rope dancer, while Lily keeps one hand on my shoulder, tapping at the ground with her cane. Tap, step, step, tap, tap, step, step, step. Apart from that and a few fragmented beginnings of conversation, it's quiet. Quite. A quiet, apart from the relaxing one in town at that.
To be fair, that was a mean setup. That was
Yes,
against
there's
you.
so many quiets. So, how's the mural going?
You're going to get bad luck. Never talk about works in progress.
I'm sure it'll be wonderful.
7 years bad luck. Bad luck. Bad luck.
Tap, step, tap, step. She doesn't care to talk about it. Lily's politeness feels out of place for the first time. Step, step, step. The hill to Yamaku rests on top of its surprisingly steep going uphill. We slow the pace, but I still feel my pulse rising and my breathing getting heavier. We are so out of shape. Almost
Round
there.
of
I can
shape.
see the gates ahead. More than that, I notice Lily's hand slightly tightens on my shoulder, interpreting it as a gesture that she wants to ask something. I speak up. Anything wrong, Lily? I resist the urge to say, aside from our traveling companion, but only just. For a moment, she seems to debate whether she should even bring it up, but goes for it anyways.
Is everything alright?
No. All right, what do you mean? How do you mean? The fact I can't interpret her increasingly vague question puts her off for a second.
It's just, you seem unusually tired.
I had a heart attack. Now that she brings it up, I notice that my breathing is strangely heavy. The uphill walk seems to really have done a job on me. Lily notices it all too quickly. I don't want to talk about it.
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
Show no weakness.
I'm fine.
You're a real man. You can walk.
We're doing bad choices, right? I don't want to talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
That sounds like a poor choice.
Repression is a poor choice as opposed to
You
sharing
just
information.
take your issue,
Anyone
you
else wanna
pack it up
input?
real tight into a box. and
Let's
you
go
put it
bad
away.
choice, no talk.
Okay.
It's nothing.
I'm fine. There's nothing to worry about. This hill is just surprisingly steep, don't you think?
No.
No.
I
It's
wonder what.
like they're doubting you.
I wonder what they have this. Wonder what they have the school up so high here for, anyways. Don't we have students in wheelchairs and everything?
Indeed. I was waiting for it.
Lily's
waiting for
forehead
it,
wrinkles
indeed.
in concern, and I don't really want her to have that kind of an expression over me. We barely know each other. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. Not that you can find a place like this wherever, I guess, but it makes me wonder what they were thinking. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. My voice is overly calm. It sounds weird to my own ear, and I speak way too fast. I briefly wonder how much Lily can sense from someone's own voice. Voice alone. Let's continue. We're almost there anyways. Let's just go home.
She was convinced by that.
For the rest of the way back to the school, we remain in silent. We all remain silent. I'm not reading anything anymore.
Is it Saturday?
I think we
We
made
have to
it!
go to
We
bed.
did it!
Oh my god.
All right.
Saturday. Hey guys, did you know that it is
I don't have my watch
Saturday?
anymore.
It is also Saturday.
It is also Saturday.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Um,
Guys,
wait, is it Saturday?
No, it is Wednesday, my dude.
The students
No.
roll into class for the Saturday morning
All right,
session.
no,
and-
hang on. I think we should eat breakfast do we want to eat breakfast while we finish this, or do we?
I don't care.
Are we wanting to finish this? We
I
got
kind
one
of
day
want
left.
to. We've got like 1 day left.
Okay.
Let's eat
Okay.
breakfast while we do it, because otherwise I'm gonna fall
So yeah,
asleep.
let's.
Sure.
Die, right?
I should go to the
I'm
bathroom.
gonna fall asleep.
but I'm just not
I need
hungry
to-
over anymore.
5-minute bathroom break and get food break.
Oh yeah, bathroom break too.
Should probably also check on my hair.
I'm gonna laugh if you literally like
All right.
pull the towel
Let's
off
play
and
the.
it just
Well,
looks
I'll,
like you
I'll play
murdered
the
somebody.
promo video real quick. You want to do a reveal before you get off the stage of the?
Yeah.
What your hair looks like?
Yeah, reveal. Holy crud monkeys, that's red.
It's very red and no longer.
Oh
green.
my
Very
god.
satanic.
It's very red.
Helen,
That
do
laugh
you
is
see
not
how red
helping.
that is? Yeah, go look in a mirror. Go, yeah, stop murdering people with the towels.
I might be able.
All right, let me get the promo video started, and we'll do a quick commercial break.
I was waiting for Lily to be able to say Indeed because I really wanted to do a deep Indeed voice. Like Teal'c from Star Trek, if anyone watching gets that reference. Yes, I mean Stargate. I'm sorry. I'm disappointed in myself as much as you are.
Is that where Yoda's from? That's where Baby
No, that's
Baby Yoda is from The Mandalorian. Dude, Baby Yoda is so adorable.
We're streaming for Extra Life to support our local Children's Miracle Network hospital, the St. Louis Children's Hospital. Hi, I'm Jacob Kaufman, and I want to thank you for tuning in to
Get back up here. Time to continue the story.
story time.
The story. Story time. I watched one of like
That's a you problem.
One of his that sounds like you problem, where his friends have like the Indeed on just like a little like button or something on like a soundboard, and so he was trying to get like.
The students roll into class.
I am still talking to Adam.
For every.
We need
for
to
the-
get through this day.
I'm just expecting the students to like roll in like Sonic the Hedgehog, just
Adam,
like
somebody!
like Droidicas from.
Yeah.
Where's the other Adam?
We've got an hour until we're kind of
There's
into
the other
the
Adam.
second thing.
Hi.
Hello, Adam.
The students roll into class for the Sunday morning session, each and every one of them sporting their tired eyes for people who have worked through the night.
Saturday morning,
They're
not
just
Sunday.
able.
Oh, did I? What?
You said Sunday.
So you're gonna
Oh.
like do her
Click!
more with like
I gotta
Saturday
get the mouse on
classes?
screen.
With only one day left to prepare this, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through class until lunch break, and then it's our own time. Our time is our own.
So they have a half day on Saturday?
Yep.
Gross!
That sounds like the preps classes in Asian Soldier.
Kroon, you're get
Now,
over here.
Moto lurches into class in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people that enjoy their late Friday nights.
It's you, dude.
Without saying a word, he scrolls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely a typical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in class is going to call him out on it.
Who wants to bet he's hungover?
He is.
Actually,
Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the tension, I do the same. Trend. Fatigue has made the class antisocial, not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partially be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Yep. Aren't present, probably doing student council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, or if she's making up for Shizuni's lack of voice.
Hey.
There we go.
Oh, what?
Now he's talking. That's the speed.
Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment?
No. I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Moto approaching my desk.
Thinking about Misha all the time.
Sure, what about? What's this about?
It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom.
Stranger danger. Stranger danger, that's what kindergarten cop taught me. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him into the hallway anyways. You gotta save the ferret.
Hell yeah.
Click. Moto stands in the hallway, Scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say, not knowing what's going on, I wait silently.
Hesitate silently?
So, tell me, how are things?
Very bipolar in modes. Things. I expect Moto to be a little vague, but this is pushing the limits.
You know, things.
I came on Monday, not Sunday, Saturday.
You've had a week to settle in now. So, how are things?
Fine, I guess. That was not British.
I see. And how is your condition?
The pause before condition seems a little unnecessary. I haven't had any problems. Nope, I am not doing my right accent. Haven't had any problems so far. A brief shimmer of relief passes across Moto's face.
Good, that's good. The school nurse was a little concerned that you might
Wasn't he the one
have
pushing
been
us to do
pushing
exercise?
yourself a bit too hard.
Now I'm confused.
Click.
He asked me to keep an eye on you
Spy!
when he couldn't.
That just sounds creepy.
That makes sense. Still spy.
I'd ask that you don't blow us off so freely. As much as we try to give you the level of education that you would get at a normal school, you have to realize that you have limits.
Haven't you been like rejecting everyone's offers to like join student council? And
I did not
stuff?
wash all of the dye out.
Our
fine.
goal
I need
is
to. I'll have to rinse it later.
our goal is to make sure that you know where those limits are and how to maximize your potential within them. Do you follow me?
No.
Yes, we followed you out in the
I guess. I mean, I don't plan on doing anything stupid. Oh, we are going to do something stupid.
Well, that's a start, I
You
guess.
have 2 days to do something stupid.
I thought we only had one.
So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I
We're supposed to die
understand
on
you were
Saturday or
laid up
Sunday.
for a while.
Sunday.
We're not too far ahead, are we?
I don't really think so. I tried to keep up with when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Moto taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information.
Like
Is that
osmosis?
so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning.
I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Well,
Keep
yeah,
yourself
you
occupied,
gotta
but
keep
with algebra.
you've got to keep up with these things, right?
That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left
You're supposed to be
behind,
supportive.
right?
So I'm not sure if it's the
right.
words or like
I
the
wouldn't
voice.
want this to happen. Want that to happen.
Really scary.
Click.
Say please.
No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. Why is big thing
I'll
capitalized?
keep that in mind.
Next big thing.
It's obvious that Moto's serious talk is over, and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight, I prefer him that way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability.
Oh my god, he
Obviously.
looks like Ooblack.
Well then, I think
looks like a
that's
looker.
all I really had to
I have no
say.
idea what you guys are saying.
Let's get back
A Pokemon.
inside, shall we?
He's a member of the international.
My relief at that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Moto pauses for a moment. Oh gosh.
I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before.
For an instance, I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back into the classroom. Good plan.
Something deep within you
A
tells
few
you to
students
shut
jump at
up.
the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they were working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as they nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Moto doesn't even really notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the nearest silence that Moto and I left it in before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway.
The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bell rings, crying out, ending the torment. Yellow. Moto.
Oh, crap.
Your job is not over yet.
Before you all leave, I expect the answers for those problems by Monday.
No. The class size is one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issue at hand. The classroom empties in a blink as everyone rushes to their last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend, with the festival and all tomorrow. Apart from me, Hanako is the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least nominally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of our seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either. So an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn the pages of my notebook. Hanako turns the pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil splinters against the paper just as I was about to finish a paragraph.
Oh, darn.
The sound of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for a sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Yep. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway.
Hanako.
Her name is
is
all
really
it takes for
close.
Hanako to jump up from her desk and run to Lily.
That's really close. Okay.
They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again.
What?
I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple minutes, she does nothing but sits with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her cinder frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small notebook. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate.
Or she just read multiple books at a time.
After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assignment is all but finished and there is nothing else to do in the classroom.
Yay.
Not really energetic, I go straight to my room and read for the rest of the day. Are we done with the
Are we
day?
through Saturday?
Are we done with the day?
It's Sunday,
real?
my dudes.
Oh.
We're done with the
That's
day!
it.
Saturday was a lot shorter than I thought it would be.
All right,
Sunday.
it's Sunday.
We seem to be like a kind of a shut-in neat because we definitely didn't talk to many people that day. I think
The
this
next
was a good
day, I
sign.
wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already.
Why are we lightheaded?
Sleeping late is fine since it's Sunday and there's no classes.
Yay.
Not just a Sunday though, it's the festival as well.
Woot woot.
Hooray.
From my window, I can already see some people at the soba booth slinging noodles onto plates for people with a craving for low-quality food. Wow.
Harsh.
I throw a handful of my morning pills and ponder how to spend the rest of the day.
Good job.
There will be a few exams in the coming week, and I don't consider those as ominous as others, so I'm not as worried about them as I probably should be. Sounds like a raw student. There's no urgent obligations regarding education. I should be free to spend the day at the festival as I like. Oh, that was not the way it was supposed to say. Finishing my morning routine, I exit into the hallway, intending to go out and find something to eat. Oh no. Passing by his door,
Oh, no.
I decide to see what Kenji's up to
Oh no.
today out of
Yes,
impulse.
Kenji's back.
These guys
I'm
are
curious
bonded.
if he has any plans since everyone is doing something. Then again, I can picture him having built a soundproof shelter in his room. Or
Dude, can
possibly
I do
something
that?
like a fort, complete with no girls allowed sign.
Yeah.
And with the girls crossed out and body crudely scrawled underneath it.
But then how is he allowed in there? He has a body.
Knocking on his door, which is luckily devoid of any kind of sign, I hear again the unsettling clicking of at least 10 locks being pulled back. The door opens
Dear
up a
God.
crack.
Rain.
Kenji has brought the rain.
Very well timed.
Who is it?
You're supposed to ask that before you open the door.
Oh, it's you. Damn, it's early.
It's not really that early.
What is it, man?
Nothing. I was gonna ask what you were gonna do today. Half the school is out there already.
Out where? Why?
Why is he mad?
He's so angry.
What? Is today special? Why are they there? Who are? I can hear them. It's loud. Don't tell me. Has the invasion begun?
God, it's time for war.
He suddenly looks more alarmed.
What day is it, man?
Yeah, I guess you can't see the big wooden booth outside and the people selling stuff.
What the hell are you talking about? I have my curtains closed at all times to thwart the snipers.
Dude, they have freaking infrared
It's the
scopes.
festival. You know that, right?
Oh, that's today? Damn it. I can't believe I forgot. I don't have my fort finished yet. This is bad. This is going to be a very bad day. It's good you told me this, man. This is going to be a bad day.
Why?
Oh man, they're going to be everywhere. The people outside my window socializing.
Kenji rubs his temples nervously, suddenly looking very ill.
Is Kenji an engineer?
I don't know.
It's going to be loud as hell. Damn it, I was going to go out today, but now it's ruined. Everything is ruined.
Yep, he's an engineer.
This is awful. This sucks. This sucks.
Wow, Thrall's
What the hell? This really sucks. I can't go anywhere now. There's nowhere to run.
Kenji seems nervous. You can even say he's majorly freaking out.
I can't believe this. So that's what today was. Damn it, I couldn't even prepare for it. I couldn't even brace myself, and it's here now, and I can't do anything. You should have told me this earlier, dude. I mean, at least I know, but I could have known earlier. Imagine what I could have accomplished.
Absolutely nothing. Sorry, I thought you knew. So I guess you're not going to do anything today. The weather is even good. Yesterday was really windy, so I thought today would be cold. It's not though, so there's no reason to just stay inside. Yeah, you should check out the festival. Check
Why
the festival
are you
out.
trying, Hisao?
Kenji groans and covers his face with his hands.
No, I can't do it. They'll eat me alive out there, I know it.
This has to be a joke, but he says it with such a straight face. Relatively straight.
What are you going to do? We should hang out in here. You can help me build my fort. We might still make it if we work together.
What am I going to do? I don't have any plans in hindsight. That's really stupid. Maybe I should have asked a girl out. Then again, all things considered, I don't think I could have done anything like that. This is only my first week.
You have lots of options.
Dude,
A week that I've wasted being awkward around almost everyone, stumbling all over myself trying to get the hang of this place. Thinking about it, what have I accomplished?
Nothing.
Who would I have even asked?
Lily?
Misha.
Damn, it seems like Kenji is my only realistic option for a date today.
No!
What's her name though?
Fine, have like a.
This is the most depressing thing that has happened to me since I had a heart attack because a girl confessed her love to me.
Wait, what?
It can't be helped.
Oh yeah, he had a heart attack
That's
because
at
a
the
girl said
beginning.
she
Yeah,
liked him, and then
that's
he had a
right.
heart attack.
I don't really
Seriously?
know. I don't have anything, I guess, but a fort seems a bit excessive. You sure you don't want to go outside? It's not like visitors won't come to the dorms today. He looks thunderstruck by this revelation.
Damn, you may have a point. This place is not safe today. We
Kenji,
must
you
find
better
somewhere
run.
to hide it.
Kenji, you better
He
run.
falls silent for a moment, thinking,
The roof.
"No, what about it?"
We are going to hide out on the roof for today.
Yeah, because that'll keep you safe from snipers.
It's the perfect place. Nobody else ever goes out
It's
there.
over,
The snipers
Anakin. I
can't.
have the high ground.
Meet me there in 1 hour. I have to prepare.
Prepare what?
The fort.
He slams the door shut and the locks click closed.
Click, 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 click.
Damn, what the hell is wrong with Kenji?
Did you just do that?
And to think I'm now going along with his craziness, it really makes me depressed.
Go take your meds.
I feel like a failure.
Thought he already took
Take
his
your
meds.
meds.
He already took his meds.
He took his meds. They're for his heart, not his depression. Once I'm outside, the din of the crowd greets me. The whole school is bustling with activity. There are stalls everywhere, and the crowd swarming between them is considerable.
I really hope there's doors
Yeah.
on those.
I don't expect the festival would attract so many visitors. I have to admit, the people in charge of decorating this place have put a lot of effort into it, and it really shows.
People seem to be enjoying themselves, and the atmosphere is colorful, bright, and happy. Unlike
No.
me. That is, if I weren't suddenly such in a foul mood. At the moment, it's more annoying than anything else. Well, it can't be helped. I decide to stick with my original plan and eat, and then I guess I have to at least see what Kenji is up to on the roof.
If do a flip is not
I
one
do a
of our
slow
options,
circle
I'll
around the
decide.
grounds to kill some time, looking at the stalls but not feeling like playing any of the games anymore. The garish color grinds my eyes, and I feel more and more ill by the minute. I can't even decide what I want to eat, and the large selection combined with the masses of energetic festival visitors isn't helping. I just head towards the nearest stall that seems to be offering something halfway edible and get in line.
I don't even know what that's.
It turns out to be noodles.
I don't see.
It also
any
turns
noodles
out
on
to
that.
be not very good.
Like I see a snow.
Well, at least
cone,
it's
I see some
nourishment.
drinks. There-
At
there's
least
no
it's not like
noodles.
I'm demanded anything else at this point. Wow, this is getting sad. I stir my disagreeable noodles. I idly wonder what the others are doing right now.
I feel like we've chosen. correctly
Shizunie and
for the
Misha are
ending.
definitely somewhere organizing things. I'd better steer clear of them. I guess they won't forgive me so easily for leaving them alone with this thing. I expect Emmy to be buzzing all over the place, being depressively cheerful.
Jeez, he needs a hug.
There's no chance to find her,
The
but
ground might
no
need a
chance
hug.
to avoid her either, so it doesn't
Ground might
matter.
need a hug.
Lily would probably be helping her class with the festival events, and entirely too busy for another's company.
Am I wrong?
Hanako won't talk to anyone anyways, either to keep herself or either keeping to herself or helping Lily. Rin should be tending to her mural and is probably being unhelpful to any hypothetical interested parties.
7 years bad luck, dudes.
Going there for some peace and quiet seems to be the nicest option of the above, but then again, I can't see having art forced on me raising my mood either, so I'll pass. While I've lost in thought, my food seems to have disappeared, and so has my hunger.
Someone appears to have eaten all of my food.
I guess I just blocked out
But I
the
am no
experience of
longer
eating, which should
hungry.
be a good thing. Satiated but unsatisfied, I turn to walk towards the main school building. An hour has almost passed already. The crowd is even thicker in here than it was outside. The hallways are almost unbearable, and I don't even dare to think what it's like inside the classrooms. I head up the stairs to my destination, the roof. Thankfully, the door at the top isn't locked, but now there's a handwritten sign on it.
No girls out loud.
Off limits. Don't mind if I don't. The festival noise is surprisingly muted up here, and the rooftop looks deserted as expected. Near a place where the cyclone fence has collapsed, there is a pile of blankets that seems oddly out of place. Wait. Didn't that pile just move a little?
Kenji.
That would be strange, as there's no wind at all. I carefully stick my hand out and give it an experimental prod.
Yep.
I jumped back.
Who is it?
God damn it, Kenji, it's me!
Oh, damn, you scared me, man.
So, what are we doing up here?
We're having a picnic.
A picnic?
Duh.
What?
Surprisingly wholesome.
Yeah, I have blankets, pretzels, and whiskey.
What?
This is
Where did
the
you get
ultimate
whiskey?
plan.
Hell yeah.
Whiskey? Aren't you a bit young to be drinking alcohol?
I'm 20, you know.
What?
Yeah, that's too young.
You're not.
Not in America.
I am, and so are you.
What? That's absurd.
You're 20.
Hey, at least you get something out of it. All I get is this bottle of whiskey.
What?
What?
What? He's rambling incoherently, but I decided to play along.
So confused.
So, what have you got in that bottle? What? So,
What do you have in that bottle?
what
I know he's got it.
have you got in that bottle of
what could it
whiskey?
be?
So, why have you got a bottle of whiskey?
My mom couldn't come visit for the festival, so she sent me some
What?
expensive single malt instead.
What?
What a cool mom.
A likely story.
Want some?
Sure.
No, you said that.
It's not like I have anything to lose.
Oh,
This day
no.
can't possibly get any worse. Isn't he supposed to avoid
So
alcohol?
he's about to drink.
Why not?
On the roof.
Ow, my jaw.
Where the fencing has fallen down.
He's not gonna die here.
We sit down on a pile of blankets, Kenji apparently dragged up here. He produces an almost full bottle of whiskey and passes it to me.
Almost.
You didn't even bring glasses?
He's
No,
wearing
this is
some.
not some romantic princess picnic. What the hell, man?
He's gotta chug it.
This is a manly picnic.
Yeah, with pretzels.
No glasses,
Then take yours off.
no napkins,
Oh dear.
whiskey only, the beverage of true men.
That's a lie.
Whatever.
Everyone knows the beverage of true men is.
Beer.
I was gonna go with water or something else. I couldn't think of anything else.
All right,
And pretzels.
I take a closer look at the bottle. 12-year-old single malt whiskey, as he said. Shrugging my shoulders, I take a swig. It burns my throat like acid, but taste isn't unpleasant. I feel it going straight to my head, and the aftertaste lingers in the back of my mouth, craving another swig.
We should outline our counteroffensive and trash talk women here where they can't hear us.
Oh my God, Kenji!
Kenji,
I
what?
love the duality there.
Damn, I forgot to bring my graphs.
What graphs?
Look at this graph.
I decide to play a drinking game with myself. Every time Kenji mentions female conspiracy, I take a swig.
Yep, we're gonna die.
Alcohol. 4 or 5 hours, or possibly several days later.
Oh yeah, we're
I lost track.
blackout drunk.
Oh, so that's what we look
Days
like?
later.
Dude, we're cute.
You shouldn't feel bad, man. Ease the fuck up. Seriously.
I'm relaxed. God damn it.
I'm telling you as I see it.
You both sound
Think
Irish.
about it. When did housing and land start becoming more and more expensive? When women began entering the workforce because it created 2-income nuclear families.
Nuclear.
Yeah, I forgot my graphs, but you'll just have to take my word for it. Women are connected to the decay of all society.
I'm okay with that.
I see. That's kind of hard to believe. Even as I say that, somehow everything Kenji says seems to make more sense now, because you're drunk. It all fits together, but I don't know if it's because he can explain things more clearly when drunk, or because I understand everything better when drunk.
Or hear me out. You're just drunk.
No, man, think of the deeper implications. People can afford to start saying, oh, well, since 2 members of the family are now earning money as opposed to 1, they can surely afford something like raising costs of ownership.
I see your point. But land in Japan has always been expensive.
I
love how her
stumbling makes sense.
Here's just
Just
drunk.
getting in character.
And the price of land generally goes up when a country starts undergoing industrialization. But no, it's because of women. Correlation equals causation, you know.
Objection!
Remind me never to let him take statistics.
I
Forgot
think
his
he
graphs.
needs to take statistics.
Right.
I thought correlation doesn't equal causation. Well, whatever. Maybe you're what?
I am always right. Yeah, I bet women created industrialization too to cover the tracks.
Go sneaky women, creating industrialization.
I mean, I think they kind of had a
Diabolical.
major role in it.
So yeah, everyone can go fuck themselves.
Are we not PG-13 anymore?
No,
We're
not,
drunk.
not the rest of the segment.
He
Okay,
stands
just making
up,
sure.
Kiddos are asleep.
Impressing me because
better
I'm
be.
fairly sure he can't
should be
even.
asleep,
I couldn't
but
even
we're
if
not.
I wanted. He yells extremely loudly as if he's lost the concept of volume. I wince and almost want to cover my ears.
Oh, he's turning into Misha.
How nice it would have been if I could have been down there, but no. You see, thinking like that is a trap. You think they're missing out on something, but at the end of that road is nothing but despair.
You need to, like, take a chill pill
Kenji
or, like,
snatches the bottle back and leans
some
his
Xanax
head
or
back,
something.
attempting to pour the alcohol into his mouth, but just ends up drenching himself in it.
Damn it! See, my aim is terrible, and the bad thing about drinking is that it only gets worse the longer you go.
What?
Today is the day of despair.
This music is
His
sad
voice
music.
immediately drops to almost a whisper, but he starts talking much faster than before,
Someone's
slightly
gonna die.
slurring his words from the whiskey that he poured on himself. As he talks, he waves the bottle around, spilling some of it here and there and everywhere.
Yeah, you know what was the most shocking event in my life?
We're finally gonna get to learn that.
I have
no.
a hazy recollection of him telling about the second most shocking event in his life, which was a bird pooping on his head.
I feel like he's got mommy
I
issues.
don't have particularly great expectations of this, but I nod at him to continue anyway.
You wouldn't think it, but I had a girlfriend here once. I think it was last year. I think. Yeah, I just blew your mind, huh? See, I have never told that to anyone.
It's true, the thought does blow my mind. Suddenly I want the bottle. I take it from Kenji and knock back as much as I can.
I was more innocent back then, and I thought she was sane, unlike most women. But then one day Alright.
Alright, yep. We made love. Alright, click.
We held hands.
Pretty okay, but then
Played some
immediately
Xbox
following...
One X.
Immediately following the event that is the point of all such things, something strange and scary happened.
Like what?
He throws himself up against the fence, leaning on it, his eyes narrowed.
Please don't lean on that.
I started feeling incredibly tired and sleepy. That isn't normal, man. What the fuck? I mean, normally that would be a high tension, adrenaline pumping moment of anyone's life, but my energy levels were dropping like a brick. Something sinister was in the works. I could feel it.
Poison, yeah.
That is when I knew that women are dangerous, sapping the life force of all men through the one commodity that is almost solely theirs to control.
Kenji, I had faith
Sickening.
in you.
No, you didn't.
I did for a minute.
Yeah, you're better off, dude.
Kenji was right. This really is a day of despair. I drink more to avoid having to process what he just said.
I don't like where this is going.
Drinking his worries away.
Now I am the last sane man in an insane world. When other people realize it, there will be a war, a great war between men and the forces of
We
feminism.
already had a great war. It was World War
But the
One.
problem is
And we
that
had
not
another war.
all men would fight on my
Yeah.
side.
greater
Shit
war.
sucks. I could
Yeah,
set the
was
bar
it
kind of
though?
low. Any men are fine, but not the dudes raised by their mom or their sister. That's for sure. And all right. Click.
That situation seems unlikely to me. Like it wouldn't happen. Like it's not very likely to happen. The alcohol must be working. Regardless, I still feel depressed that I'm up here today. I wasn't really looking forward to the festival with the same excitement as the rest of the school, but still. It would have been nice to have gone with someone. From up here, it certainly sounded like everyone's having fun. Maybe I am missing out.
There's a really quick way you can get down there
Kelly?
and hang out.
It just seemed. It's just that there was no one I could have gone with.
Aside.
Obviously, the nurse. Or
No.
maybe, or maybe there was so many opportunities. Looking back on it now, I must have squandered so many of them.
Shoujo, Pluto.
Oh gosh.
Damn, this is true despair. The worst part is that sometimes I feel like I have no choices in my life, you know?
This is just how you made all the
You're
Like
an
I
NPC.
never have a chance to make a decision. Shit just happens.
You're an NPC.
Like it was all pre-programmed, like fate or something. Like there is no way I can have a say in what I do.
On.
He's on to it.
Quick, ask me a question! No!
I can't really.
See? This is just another example of it. Damn shit, damn, do you see? Now, when I'm trying to go against my destiny and take charge of my life, the opportunity isn't even there. Click.
Click.
Damn, man, you have failed me. Failed me for the last time, jerk.
What? Oh, is he gonna kill us?
What? Wait.
He slides to his knees and falls over.
Oh, thank God he just
lying
passed
on the
out.
gravel of the roof.
Oh, thank God he just
Hey,
passed
are
out.
you okay?
I don't think he is.
No, I'm not okay. Can't you see I'm in despair?
I'm in despair.
In a sarcastic tone. Suddenly, Kenji sits up closely, patting himself clean,
Oh my God.
and puts his hands up toward me. Reaching for the bottle, I put it in his hand.
Give me about.
What the hell? Damn, you killed almost the entire bottle. See, it's like I have no options in life.
Oh my God, child!
Me?
No.
Oh.
They're 20.
Is this how it's going to be
Yeah,
for
they're
the
both
rest of
adults.
time?
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be like this for the rest of the time.
You need to
It was like that for the rest
Whatever
of
he's
time.
talking about, my head is spinning. I get up and lean against the fence.
No,
I hope,
no.
hoping it'll help me focus a little. No.
Yeah, I know. We have to fight the power with all we've got. It's the only way to live. You're an alright guy. Why is there... Okay. This brotherly bond is what keeps me going in these dark times. We should go trolling women.
Oh my god, no! Rolling women.
No! No!
Gotta go roll.
No! Trolling women. Trolling full women. But we have to do it now before I lose this alcohol-related
I thought
courage.
you meant like trolling.
He's gesturing wildly,
Not
madly
trolling.
even.
I don't even know what's going on anymore.
I take a step
No.
backwards. No!
Every time.
He takes a step forward.
Uh-oh.
You're
What's
back.
the matter with you? Not in the mood for love?
What are you doing? To be frank, no.
You're not Frank, you're Esau.
I take another step backward. He takes another step forward. He leans in extremely uncomfortably close. What the hell? Stop leaning in like that. It bothers me.
Leaning in like what? Hey, you shouldn't lean against the fence like that. It's kind of unsafe.
How many more backward steps can you take? I try to move back away from Kenji, but my balance isn't so good. Reeling from dizziness, I grab one of the fence posts, but I then feel it give away as soon as I put my weight on it. This isn't good. Through my alcohol-addled brain, doesn't seem to be quite capable of registering why.
There's an error, but I can't read the error code.
Kenji's face seems to be becoming smaller, though, which is a bit of a relief.
He's getting further away.
He's actually backing off, like you said.
Much smaller, in fact, and rapidly so.
Taking a lot
There
of
seems to be a bit of wind now. Somehow it makes me feel almost weightless.
Wait, that wasn't one today.
Does he do a flip?
Uh-oh.
I feel dazed, like my mind has gone blank. Am I falling? I can see the night sky as I turn over in the air. The bottle
Yeah,
floats
you're doing
out
a
of my
flip.
fingertips and disappears into thin air as I fall.
Oh, the bottle's still.
I realize that this is a fitting end to a truly, truly bad day.
Oh.
Oh my god!
Oh.
Oh,
Well.
what was that? Oh.
I'm
This was
glad
almost worse
I came
than
in at
missed
the
messages,
conclusion.
and that was also bad.
Well,
Well, that's it. How'd you guys like the game?
At least missed messages got like.
He's going for it. We should on the slide.
I literally came right at the end of all
tried
that.
to. We
Just
just
see
didn't
that.
finish.
Oh my.
All right, what's next?
Would have made it worth it.
Whew.
Great game.
Wow,
Yeah.
they just after all.
So I called it when they went up on the roof, and he did a flip.
Wow.
So I'm psychic.
I mean, he was already facing
Wow,
Kenji, so if
your
he
mind-
was
your
falling,
mind's
Mind
like,
reader.
if he was falling backwards, he was already gonna see the sky. So it's not like he did a flip. He just fell
He said he was like turning
he did,
in
like,
the
turn
air.
over, yeah.
Did he do a barrel roll or a forward flip or a back
Guess
flip?
we'd have to see
Alright,
how
really?
he landed.
I will throw the llama at you.
You might turn your llama red.
Good point. I will not throw the llama at
So I'm
you.
not making you another llama.
Dang.
But you didn't even have to make legs or a tail in
I'm
this
not
one.
making you another
I
llama.
want another llama. Bubbles needs a friend.
What's up next?
Use llama bean.
I can't.
moving
It's
on?
Dad's.
Next is Jackbox. So who brought Jackbox?
Wait,
Is that
No, this is llama bean.
I
No,
have-
Dad's
I
is
have
Bubbles.
Dad's
1,
is
2, 3,
Bubbles.
and
Dad's is
6.
bubbles. Yours is llama bean.
This one's llama bean because it doesn't have the legs. God, you made me forget what my own llama was named. Over here by me.
Okay.
I was.
My throat hurts.
But now
Do you want
His,
the
like,
water bottle?
His water bottle's like exactly the same.
No, his has got more white.
I'm just saying, like, looks exactly the same.
And
to
I've
me.
got stickers.
So, how do you feel about that?
Man died.
Hey, it's better than Doki Doki.
I don't want to talk about Doki Doki.
Us, you do whatever already done. Here, we'll cover him with the blanket that says about being shot.
Here.
It's upside down.
Well, that was depressing.
Is Brendan?
What were you expecting?
I was expecting suicide.
Oh.
I mean, that was like accidental suicide.
It wasn't. It was an accident.
I was expecting him to. I was
Now
expecting.
I need to watch the first 4 hours
I
again
thought he
because
was
I don't
gonna-
remember
I thought-
some of the stuff.
So, given
I
how
thought he was gonna like get depressed.
this
and
is
kill
not a
himself,
conversation
or-
I should be having on an extra life stream.
or like fall, or like die from sickness or something. I didn't expect him to fucking fall off a roof.
Fall and die from sickness, so the falling's just secondary. He was actually.
So,
just
I mean, he was kind of falling and dying from alcohol poisoning.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean.
Oh, that's
You
why I
know what I
turned
mean.
red. No, that's why I turned red. I don't know.
It actually like looks really nice.
He did hit the ground, but he died before he hit the ground.
Thank
Brandon dead? Is it because Kenji was trying to confess to him?
from sleep.